Wendy Bell Radio is live.
Hey. Happy Friday, everybody. Hey, how about yesterday? What the heck happened? Something wild happened yesterday.
We got a ton of views after the show.
We did. We got like 120,000 views yesterday. We were number 5 on the leaderboard. Like, I want you guys to understand how huge that is to us. See, when businesses are looking for shows that they want to do business with, when companies want to partner with somebody and they're like, look, I like your message, but they like my audience, right? They like you. They like you because you're here, because you're loyal. Look at what you've done. I just want you to know you're the victory. So for us to be at the end of week number 2 of our new schedule, I think it's gotten better, Brock.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel
there's not as much pressure. There's better sleep.
less discombobulated and less pressure, I think, is definitely true. But we're just having fun. And, you know, there's a lot of news that's not fun. I got a nasty gram yesterday, Brock. I got a nasty gram from a woman who unloaded. She was like, cork out. I was like, dang.
About what?
She's just grumpy that we talk about all of this stuff that's very disappointing that we have to talk about. And I don't disagree. So all I wrote back was, feel better? Like, I hope you feel better now. Like, you can do your own show and talk about what you want to talk about, but I think that we're watching a very interesting chapter of American history, right? I haven't rumbled. Oh my gosh. 8:42, let's go.
Okay. I just got an email.
Uh-oh. From whom?
If you don't like...
Oh, no. What's happening? Are you going to hurt my feelings?
No,
okay.
No. Listen, we make stereotypes. There's stereotypes for everything. There's stereotypes about the what are the cars that we make fun of? Subarus with the coexist sticker on it.
Yeah.
We're not saying everybody that owns a Subaru
Though if you drive by in one, I do look at you and I'm like, really?
Has a hair bun or a man bun in a kayak. Just when we say kamikaze Karens, not every Karen. If you take
not
offense
every white
to it,
college-educated liberal chick is out there protesting.
Don't blame me. I didn't come up with Karen.
So who's griping at you?
A Karen.
Oh, is she mad because it's her name?
That we say that we love the show, but quit labeling all nasty women as Karen.
You know what?
Here's the thing.
I'm going to say something real fast.
You're going to get called out when you send stuff like this.
Karen, here's the beautiful thing about you. All right. See, our names were extinct about 20 years ago. I remember when Wendy and Karen were on the names of the extinct list.
Wait a second. When has Brock ever been on?
Nobody names their child Wendy. Never, ever. Nobody's ever going to name their child Karen again. Right? You are walking your name legacy into the future. You should be very proud of your name, Karen. It's okay. Just means that you're relevant every single day to us. I wouldn't be upset at all. And we know that you're not one of them because you're here.
Right. Like, if it's not you, don't take offense to it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I love that when people are like, I drive a Subaru. And I'm like, I don't care that you drive a Subaru.
If someone says every blue-eyed person's a liberal, I'd be like, not this one, but okay, whatever.
That's a really stupid analogy. You, of all analogies, that was the biggest egg you've ever laid. That was bad. If everybody said everybody with gorgeous blue eyes and super long eyelashes that every woman loves and have told me about my whole life. I mean, if you said that we're all liberals then.
Okay.
It's almost like you're transparent. Look at that.
I'm just saying. I was just trying to think of an attribute. Listen, if someone says you're fat, I agree. Like, I'm not going to take offense to facts. Like, whatever. Like,
look at you guys. We haven't even started, and you're 1,000 rumbles in. Good afternoon. What's going on? We got what? Pistol Pete? Is that what I see? Hello, Wendy. You're beautiful and hilarious. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for what you do. And Brock can't leave Brock out. He'll get butthurt. Love you, Brock. Well, Penny says, my name is Penny. More dogs are named Penny than people. True.
I had a friend who, growing up, whose dog was Penny.
Okay, was your name made up in Peter Pan?
No, my name was from a soap opera. So.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny. She's Karen. She says, and she's Karen, Karan. See, so you're really not Karen.
Wow.
You're Karen. There's a difference.
You're not a true Karen. You're fake imposter Karen.
Atlantis Joe is trying to buy my heart with $1. All right, I'll bite.
Oh.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
Cheap and easy.
30 cents goes to Brock.
I gotta.
I love you guys.
I forgot to print out bad jokes.
Oh my gosh. You have one job.
Wow.
Hey, I turned my microphone on.
Today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to your daily dose of facts to fight off the liberal gaslighting.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane.
You have sanctuary in the city of Chicago.
Or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm.
I am angry. We are not going back. Not ever.
North is still north. People can yell at you.
The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them.
North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
We don't get fooled again. No.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea, we're converting the Marxist left 1 hour at a time on the Wendy Bell radio program.
Hello, America. Greetings to all of you across the beautiful fruited plain. Welcome home to the Wendy Bell radio program. As always, we are delighted to round up another busy work week with you. Try saying that again. Work week with you. WendyBellRadio.com is where you can go and kind of follow along the live video stream and join our army. Join in the live chat. Be part of something. We're watching what's going on in this country. A lot of it, if you're a common sense conservative, well, hell, if you're a common sense liberal even, you look at it and you're like, you know what, this isn't adding up. And you're right. And the rhetoric is cranking up for a reason. And now you've got everyday average Americans who made Donald Trump say, do it. The time is now, Mr. President. Invoke the Insurrection Act. Let's take America back. Welcome home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. You know, it's kind of weird. I'm gonna start off here with a little inside baseball for you guys, okay? So normally, there's a humming noise in this studio. There's some equipment from Newsmax Television. They've got a camera in here. They've got some equipment that kind of buzzes, and I've been used to it. It's been here for a couple years. And every day for the last several years, they have taken on one of their channels this program in various iterations, 1 hour, 2 hours here and there. And they stopped doing it. They're changing their format and doing other things. And this morning, and I know Brock didn't think anything of it, but it made a huge difference to me. We turned off the machine that creates that connection between our studio and New York or Florida, where the other studios are. And this is the first time in so long I haven't heard that buzzing. It is so weird to be in the silence here. It's almost like I'm forced to pay more attention to what we're doing and what's going on. There's a lot of distractions. Bzzz. That was humming in my ears for 2 years every time I spoke to you. And now it's quiet. There's something like that going on in our country. And it is truly the snapping out of this bizarre trance. It's more people paying attention and looking discerningly at the news they get and fact-checking it, doing their own digging, finding different sources, believing different things because they did the homework. And what you and I are doing is threatening, essentially, the deep state's last stand. Everything that they've done from COVID on has been singularly purposeful. It is to bring as many people from out of America into America, give them everything they can, that's for free, that you and I pay for, so that they will be counted in the census and that these people will vote Democrat. And if you have these people counted in the census and they vote Democrat, even though they shouldn't be voting, but you know darn well as I that they will, and they do, that is the desperate last stand of the deep state, desperate to never lose control. Now, if you've got all of this arsenal stuff going on that President Trump has, you've got the presidency, right? You've got the executive branch. You've got the legislative branch. You've got the House and the Senate, right? You've got the majority of the Supreme Court, and you're not out there kicking ass every single day. You're not nuking the filibuster. You're not passing through these judges. You're not changing the fabric of the judicial warfare that we've all witnessed every lousy day for the last, 9 years at a minimum. We've got all of this stuff. Every single Trump card is in our hand. And nobody's playing cards. What are we doing? Why have we not restored law and order? The silence in my studio is as deafening as the awakening out there of everyday America. I want you to hear a couple voices. Did you see last night? Things in Minneapolis got worse. You know, when the sun goes down and the cops fail to do their jobs and they leave federal agents, ICE agents high and dry with a ginned up activist propaganda wing of crazy. What happens? You have police vehicles and federal officials' vehicles torched. Right? Broken into, things stolen, sensitive materials, a rifle and ammunition. What are we doing besides watching and hearing the deafening silence? Listen to this gentleman in his car. He's like, look, you can go and agitate and protest all you want. You've chosen the wrong hill, lefties.
All right, so it's clear that there's a lot of rage and anger and passion in the people who are protesting, or they're just plain nutty. But your compassion for these illegals is compassion for child molesters and rapists. People who have raped children and women. People who have molested children. This is what your compassion is for. This is who you are outside fighting for, risking your freedom for, and possibly even your life for. I'm not going to die on that hill with y'all. I'm not doing that at all. We're talking about people who are here illegally. And if there are people who are here illegally and they're not sex offenders, well, sorry to tell you, you let in a bunch of sex offenders. No one's trying to figure out who is who. Corn looks like corn. And you know what? When it's bad, it's all got to go. And that's just the way it is. Look, for the people who are here, who've been working hard and everything else, before the illegals came in here, when you were already illegally here, I'm sorry, but you got to go too. You know why? No one's trying to figure out who is who. It's just too much. And you got to blame the Democrats for that because they allowed it to happen in the first place. No one should be fighting for pedophiles.
No one should be fighting for pedophiles. Amen, sir. Polling is out right now. Pay attention to it because it's going to hit your inbox. Oh, no. New polling suggests independents aren't pleased with the optics of these ICE operations in our cities. I don't give a damn what independents think. I don't give a damn what Rasmussen thinks or what Trafalgar or any of these other operations think. I'm going to tell you right now, America is tired. We're tired of a crybaby, insolent bunch of boobs who have traded in their decency to be outraged, but to never be able to step back and listen to the silence. They have been brainwashed. I want you to hear Don Lemon. This is just truly, I think, why I wanted to talk about this today. Here's Don Lemon, used to be a CNN guy, right? black man, gay dude, crawls to the top of the broadcasting ladder. Creme de la creme. Very few people would ever be able to occupy that position. He had it at CNN, and he pooed all over it, and he became an activist, and then he became an angry black gay guy. He wasn't a news guy. He wasn't somebody giving you information. He became an angry activist. They booted him. Elon Musk gave him an olive branch, and he couldn't even take it. He had to poo all over that as well. And now we have Don Lemon reduced to a podcast of irrelevance, claiming that ICE agents who you and I voted for, who we begged for, who we showed up by the tens of millions for, Don Lemon calls them, oh my, terrorists.
Is this what you voted for, MAGA? You idiots? Is this what you voted for? Why would you even want this job? Is your ego and your penis, are they that small that you feel that you have to harass people in order to feel like a man or to feel strong? Is this what you voted for? Is this what you voted for? Maybe it is. And if you did, then you're a cruel, heartless bastard. Clearly, what this administration is trying to get you to do is unlawful. It is inhumane. It is unpatriotic. And it is un-American, although by the minute, it is becoming what America is. And maybe we have crossed that threshold, that thing that switches to the other side where this is what America is. You ICE goons and federal agents who are out there, you are common terrorists.
I'm going to tell you something about Don Lemon, having never met him, but knowing many men like him in television as well. If a Trende Aragua gang member broke into Don Lemon's apartment, he would cry like a baby. He would squeal and he would call and he would be desperate and he would be, oh my gosh, for a federal agent with a gun to be by his side. Don, it's very interesting. You speak of things that you know nothing about. Be careful what you wish for. Because the people ICE is taking off of our streets, ladies and gentlemen, are the very people who don't like Don Lemon's kind. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, Caroline Levitt nukes a fake news loser, some guy who works for thehill.com, who's a regular over on News Nation because they're the same company. Listen to how she blisters him to smithereens. You leftist hack. My girl. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Don Lemon would cry all day long. He would be like, juicy small yay. A gang member would eat him for breakfast. Hog tie his ass.
They'd kill him. That's it.
Well, just to make him stop talking. This is terrible thoughts. Terrible. There's one. Brock's going to the bathroom for the first time. We're doing a pee counter for Brock. Yes, we are. Oh, you're not. Oh, you're going over to the printer. He had like 7 pots of coffee this morning and has a big gulp of what looks like tea, but it's probably watered down iced coffee, and then had another cup of coffee. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to go with at least 4 potty trips today, okay? All right, let me tell you guys about Texas Bullion Exchange. I want to tell you how I feel about this. I love the idea of being aware of what precious metals, what these markets are doing right now. It's very interesting if you've been watching. When Brock got his silver bar about a year and a couple months ago, it was about $33, $35 an ounce. Now, yesterday, I think we saw $92, and who knows what it's doing now. But it's a very intriguing time to pay attention to the markets. Now might not be the greatest time price-wise to buy, but if you're following it, you're going to know when the time is to pounce. And if you need help...
Whoa, your camera just went up.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. And if you need help... There, hold on. And if you need help, I'm going to tell you, you need to call our friends at Texas Bullion Exchange. You ready? Hold on. 855-927-5557. 855-927-5557. And it's super easy. You're right. WendyLovesGold.com. And it takes you to their landing page, and you can start a live chat with one of their folks who knows exactly who you are. They're going to be like, I know who you are. And we love all of the listeners from the Wendy Bell radio program. So pay attention to this. I think it's a really great time to think about getting gold, silver, platinum, and palladium perhaps into your portfolio, or to be poised to be ready to do that when the price is right. Right? Okay. What do we got going on? Huh?
What happened there?
I don't know. It just bounced. And I don't want to fiddle with that. I'm going to read you guys something that's truly amazing, because these left-wing mobs now in Minneapolis are becoming the de facto law enforcement. They're now taking it upon themselves to stop vehicles that want to drive by into their new chop zones, making sure that the people coming through are not federal agents. Who in the F are you? Again. Oh, that's right. You're a kamikaze Karen. Sorry, Karen. Right. Did you get an update on the flags by any chance?
I did not. I can get one, though.
I did find a gallon of Knockout at my house. Thank goodness. I ran out. And I was like, it's like running out of coffee. It's not like what's going on in Minneapolis is a big shocker, but I think we should all be on the same page about what happened overnight. Left-wing mobs in Minneapolis are now stopping cars and interrogating civilians. Who in the hell are you? Get out of the way. Move your car. Stop it with your autonomous zone. This is the dog whistle for every ne'er-do-well militant activist or liberal chick who men can't stand, who live with cats, right? To show up and resist. Okay, well, you're getting in the way, and now you're horsing with people. You ready for this? The left wants it both ways. They don't want borders or immigration enforcement or for people to prove their identities, unless, of course, the left are the ones making the demands. Just the other day, a leftist in Minneapolis accosted a CNN reporter and demanded to know what outlet she was with. She was like, I'm CNN, and the kid walked by, right? No problem. Interesting how that works. They also set up autonomous zones in Minneapolis, one that ran for several blocks. Residents weren't allowed to drive to their homes, right? Imagine being on the street that Renee Good got shot on, right? Her decision-making that day now throws you and your family into this war zone that you did not ask for. But it gets worse. Now these far-left agitators and mobs are stopping vehicles to make civilians prove they are not with ICE or DHS, and then bullying the civilians for driving the wrong sort of vehicle. Here you go, man, inside of his vehicle. The hatch of his SUV opens up the back of his SUV. It's loaded full of stuff, all sorts of camera equipment. Some woman pretending to be like, I don't know, CHOP security makes him lift his trunk to show her that he's not with the federal government. And then she criticizes him, and he's like, look, this is a rental car. And she's like, well, you should rent a car that's not so bad for the environment. Like, what? You're getting your virtue and your climate hysteria and all of this stupid stuff about protesting the removal of kidnappers, people who kill people, rape people, who molest children and rape them. You're going to fight for them and twist it all with your climate hysteria. Okay. Well, that was going on yesterday. At the same time, I think Caroline Leavitt just went like this. to some goofball leftist dipstick who works as a quote-unquote reporter for thehill.com, which is owned by the same people who own News Nation, okay? So thehill.com is by no means some straight down the middle of the road publication. This is a leftist publication, and the dude asks her a question. Caroline goes full bore. Enjoy.
Everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 U.S. citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
You know, you cannot come here with information you think you have, not having all of the information, and then set up a predicate to a story that's factually incorrect and expect me not to call you out. If everything this administration does through your eyes is wrong, I'm sorry, you're not a journalist. You're an agitator. There's a difference. Now, here is the most remarkable thing that you and I are witnessing with this crazy. Are you getting your news from CBS? Did you see it on NBC's evening program last night? Maybe over at ABC? Did you catch it there? I bet you didn't. Anything you got from Minneapolis, including the guy who's part of the Latin Kings, the biggest and most pervasive street gang in Minnesota, right? Breaking into the back of an FBI agent's vehicle and stealing his rifle, his ammunition, and a bunch of classified, well, at least secret documents, right? You see it because of Nick Sorter. You see it because of people on the ground who are citizen journalists. And it's so curious because Nick Sorter appears with Laura Ingraham last night, where he's breaking the news that the Latin Kings goofball, who's so broke the law how many which ways to steal a federal agent's firearm and run off with it. Guy gets arrested. Nick Sorter says, and Laura Ingraham doesn't even pick it up. It's amazing that the only way people know about this is because I'm showing it, like Nick Shirley and all of the Somalian fraud. It's amazing that it takes one guy with a camera to go do what the media stopped doing a long time ago. So Caroline Levitt, hats off to you, sweetheart. Keep it up because they're all over the place. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, this is what mutiny looks like, right? This is what it is. A Minnesota state representative exposing the movements of ICE in real time. Say what? Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I'm really excited to tell you guys something, and it's because of you. We're going to be starting a new product. I'm going to begin taking it on Monday. And I'm going to tell you about it to see if you want to do it with me. You may not. It is from a company I trust, Juvenon. So the makers of Blood Flow 7 and Alpha Male Gold. I always want to say Alpha Gold Male. Is it Alpha Male or Alpha Gold Male?
Alpha Gold.
Alpha Gold Male. This version for men with testosterone and all sorts of stuff that you need. Juvenon has a few other things that are pretty amazing. One that they sent me is a capsule you can take when you know you're going to have a high carbohydrate-based meal. If you know you're going to do something and you're going to be sucking down a bunch of carbs and you want to put up like a roadblock to it, Juvenon has a product for that. I was like, really? Huh. Then this other product that we're going to be trying, we'll talk about it on Monday, but I'm super excited. It's because of you and the phenomenal response you've had with the Blood Flow 7. The number of people I've gotten who are around my age or older, so 50s, 60s, 70s, who are like, look, I was dragging. I was feeling like, I hate this getting older stuff. It's for the birds. And then I started taking Blood Flow 7. And the secret sauce in this is a molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, when it's released into your body, opens up your blood vessels. So more blood flows through your body. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, you'll feel it. I don't have to tell you what it means because you will feel it. And you will feel it in short order. You will feel it in 3 hours. And if you start taking this and you take it consistently every day, I do it at the same time every day, you're going to notice serious changes in your life. The least of which is the best maybe, is you sleep like a boulder. bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Every day. Weekends. Every day. I don't mess with this. bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Literally, it's like once you're on it, it's like having the second glass of wine. You're like, I feel much better now. Thanks. Do I want more? Of course I do. Should I? No. It's addictive because you feel like you can. And you do. bloodflow7.com/Wendy. All right, what's going on in there?
Half of them.
Huh?
Half of them.
Half of them?
Flags.
Oh, he sold.
You guys bought half of them already.
He had 200.
Yes.
They've bought
Yes.
100 of his flags.
Yes.
See, this is the power of you. I talk about Sniper. So today I use Knockout. Disinfectwithsniper.com. You guys know I talk about this. It's the greatest disinfectant, household cleaner, magic eraser. It is everything. I love it. I have one spray bottle on every floor, and I have a little jobby in my car. It cleans, it disinfects, it deodorizes. It's phenomenal. So our friend who owns disinfectwithsniper.com started putting up these flags, 250th birthday of America flags. They're $60. They're not embroidered, so they're not like that super, super high end, but they're beautiful, and you won't mind if they get out in the wind and whatnot outside of your house. And you guys have bought 100 of them. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Now we're just like spitballing. What can we not sell with our people who are just, you seem to track with what we like. Well, I'm grateful for that. Disinfectwithsniper.com if you'd like to see the flags. But if you'd like to get Knockout or Sniper, get the products. They will blow your mind. And there's no shipping because he is serious.
Free shipping.
Free shipping. That's what I mean. Thank you.
What I can tell you, because he's a personal friend, what he loves the most is trying to find new products.
Mm-hmm. That you guys will like.
And he's like, I'm willing to, he flat out told me, he's like, I'm willing to, you have to make big orders.
Yeah.
When you buy stuff, he's like, I'm willing to take the risk because I think your people will like this.
Right on.
That was Harmony.
Yeah.
That was Knockout.
That's crazy. You guys are phenomenal. And just so you know, I'm not blowing sunshine. All right, let's see what we got. We got 5,700.
Froggy 7076 gave you $50. It says, I love you more.
Froggy, you can't buy me yet. Keep coming. Keep it coming, choppers. I'm just kidding. It's a great line, and there's something about Mary. I love that show. That was a freaking hilarious program. Okay, so what do we have? We have 1.88 rumbles. Excellent job. 5,700 people here. Slow start on X, but you guys always come showing up, right? 433 over on X. Thank you. I put in, not Grok, but I think Perplexity. I put in, how many podcasts get 5,000 live listens or live views? All right. Very few.
Mm-hmm.
Very few. We're in the top half of 1% because of you. I mean, that's how serious it is.
Not because of me.
And I can look at Megyn Kelly and Steven Crowder and all these other people who are way bigger than we, and that's great. There's room for everybody. You put us in that category. They might not know about us, but they know about us because of you. Numbers game that I think a long time ago the Democrat Party realized, oh snap, we're not ginning up this wonderful enthusiasm. What do we know? They lost something like 4.4 million voter registration advantage gone after the 2024 election. Not only did a bunch of people sign up as Republican voters, there were a hell of a lot of Democrats who switched. There's been a 4 million voter registration or more change since 2024, right? But I'm going to say that what we're seeing in our elected leadership right now is them telling us basically this numbers game, this is the final straw, this is the last stand. We cannot allow all of these people that we work so hard to get into this country to be deported easily, even if we're starting as ICE is with the criminal illegals. So the number is very basic, and you're going to hear it later on in the program. And we just heard this reporter who Caroline Levitt eviscerated say it. And he's like, 170 American citizens have been detained by ICE since Donald Trump took the oath of office the second time. Like, what do you think about that? And she's like, you obviously didn't do any research whatsoever. And he didn't, because if he had, he would see that ICE has removed successfully 650 plus thousand illegal aliens. And there's another, an additional 1.922 million who have self-deported. This is cataclysmic for 170 U.S. citizens to get caught up in it. That's like a 0.02% rate. Come on. This is what the Democrats don't want. This is what the deep state is fighting tooth and nail to prevent the shipping out of the people that they brought in. And they brought them in on your dime. All of the freebies that these people have been promised, just come vote Democrat. Come and be counted. Come to Bethlehem. Let's be counted in the census. This is what it is. All right. Now, because of that, because so much is on the line, there is some desperation going on. There's desperation, and then there's abject lunacy. So there's a Minnesota state representative. And if you're from there, you guys are familiar with this guy's name, okay? His name is Brad Tabke. Brad Tabke, Minnesota state representative, used to be a small town mayor in Minnesota, who's now bounced into the state legislature, okay? Yesterday, while ICE agents were doing their lawfully required duties, rounding up criminal illegal aliens who make us all unsafe, this guy, Brad Tabke, Minnesota state representative, was doxing the live locations of ICE agents to specifically help illegal aliens evade arrest and guide anti-ICE agitators who look for agents to harass. In what world would a lawmaker in these United States, whether federal, state, or local, in what world would that representative dox the agents, knowing that an angry group of liberal whack jobs is on the hunt with Antifa to track them down? Because he did. Let's see some of these posts from your Minnesota state representative, Brad Tabke. ICE speeding through parking lots in Southbridge by Panera and Holiday Inn. Be careful, everyone. ICE watching gas pumps at Sam's Club. Also, many sightings at school and daycares. Many ICE vehicles without license plates in Southbridge by Old Pier 1 and Sam's Club Gas. ICE back in Shakopee Amphitheater, and they've left. ICE now at Loma Bonita in Savage. ICE hit a Domino's delivery driver, blah, blah, blah. He's putting these out every 15 minutes, every 15 minutes. What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? Now, I want to tell you a little bit about Brad Tabke's district, because there's something that's truly mind-bending there. There was a young woman named America Thayer in Brad Tabke's district. And on the afternoon of July 28th, 2021, a decapitated body was discovered in the middle of an intersection in Shakopee, I don't know how you pronounce it, Minnesota. The head was also found nearby. I want you to imagine for a moment how vile and violent and disgusting what I'm saying to you is. Because as the state representative is posting in real time, where he's watching agents, hoping to get progressives to go and get in their faces, an illegal alien, a 42-year-old named Alexis Sabaret, who's from Cuba, was America Thayer's boyfriend. She broke up with him after 7 years. It was a violent relationship. She had filed orders of protection. And then one day, in the summer of 2021, in his car, America Thayer broke up with her boyfriend, Alexis Sabaret, who traveled with a machete. And in the car, he pulled out the machete and decapitated her. And then opened up her car door and kicked out her body and threw out her head in the same area where Brad Tabke had previously been a mayor. And this man, with that on the mind, which I don't know how you would ever lose, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think you just erase it. I don't think you wake up the next day and it's a clean slate. This isn't an Etch-a-Sketch. You're not shaking it. It's with you forever. Think about that man now, Brad Tabke, Minnesota State Representative, former mayor of this community in which America Thayer was decapitated because she broke up with her boyfriend. And by the way, he didn't get the death penalty or anything. They just ruled him insane. And I don't know where the hell he is now. I want you to know this is where we are. These people out in Minneapolis protesting against ICE. How would they feel? A logical, common sense person would say, if their son or daughter was the next America Thayer. I want you to hear Nick Sorter. That is what we are up against. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just Juan Gonzalez from Mexico. He came across, he was dealing some weed in Mexico and he's got a record. These are barbarians. All of them? No. But like the gentleman we heard in the prior segment said, once there's a bad ear of corn, all the corn is bad. How do you go through and find the most dangerous? That is what ICE is now doing. And these protesters, aided by people like Brad Tabke, are trying to stop them. Make that make sense. Citizen journalist Nick Sorter is on last night with Laura Ingraham. And he has an update because the guy who broke into the FBI agent's car and stole his rifle and ammo and other stuff, who had a very distinguishing face tattoo that we never would have seen because your nightly news sure as hell wasn't covering it. They were sitting back like Don Lemming, I'm sure, and calling ICE agents terrorists. Here's Nick's order with breaking news on Fox, who can't even break it. Listen.
I know you just talked to a high-placed source at DOJ. Tell us more.
Yeah, so he wasn't arrested last night. He could have been, but the Minneapolis police didn't bother chasing the vehicle that had just stolen a high-powered rifle out of an FBI car. So that stole it out of one of these weapons lockers that was in the back. But what I can confirm now is that Raul Gutierrez, age 33, that you see in the video that I posted last night, stealing a firearm from an FBI vehicle, has been arrested by the ATF and the DOJ. They executed an arrest warrant today, and he's a known member of the Latin Kings gang. I just got all this information just before I came on air. He's got a lengthy, violent rap sheet. Of course, he should have been in prison already, but in Tim Waltz, Minnesota, like they don't arrest anybody here. So it's not surprising that he was able to go out and beat this gun safe to a pulp and pull this automatic firearm out of it and run away with it. And, you know, hell, if it wasn't for, honestly, a lot of us independent journalists on the ground that were able to get a video of this, nobody would have seen it happen.
Wouldn't know about it.
They were able to find this guy based on a video from independent journalists, the one that we posted last night. I mean, it's crazy that it has to be us doing this.
She didn't hear him. It's crazy. It has to be us doing this. We're doing the job that long ago you failed to do. I want you to hear Nick Shirley's friend, fellow whistleblower, David Hoke. I believe that's how you would say his last name. He's like, look, so the Americans terrified by ICE are actually foreign gang members who steal firearms. That's what we got out of Nick's order. David Hoke says, I fear for my life every day simply because I dared to ask questions.
And now I wear bulletproof, stab-proof vests when I go out. I have signs on my house that say homeowner is armed, dogs on premises, no trespassing, the lights stay on all night. And look, I'm not saying everybody has to do what I'm doing because it was very dangerous and it continues to be dangerous. But this has to be the spark where people say, okay, this is enough, because eventually they're going to take me out. I got a bounty on me, and I need to know that all of this was not in vain.
Hold it. Walls and the Republicans in Minnesota have forced the Minnesota government to have you have 24-hour security, do you not, sir? By the state?
The answer to your question is not by the state. No, I've not been offered protection. I've worked with Homeland Security, and they're not far from my home, and they do offer some protection at night. And I was told that if I need an agent outside my residence, that it's a phone call away. I don't want to live like that, Steve. I don't. Then I'm basically living in a bubble. I'm in a prison, and I just don't want to do that. My kids are terrified. My father, before he died, he said, please don't do this. They're going to take you out.
So you fear for your life if you dare speak the truth, expose the rot, ask the questions, and put it out there. You have to fear for your life. The silence is deafening. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, this odd moment, Sean Hannity absolutely lost it on a Democrat who he's probably friends with. I wasn't expecting it. Interesting. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
I don't know how breaking this is. It says breaking. But that's on Twitter, and that's people just trying to get clicks.
Yes.
After listening to oral arguments, the White House confirms the Supreme Court is likely to uphold President Trump's sweeping tariffs.
That's a game changer. Now you have to nuke the filibuster.
And it has Kevin Hazlitt.
And invoke the Insurrection Act. Do it now. Boom, boom, boom. If that oh boy.
Game over.
Game over. They're effed. And that's good because we have no more Fs to give.
Well, someone else is throwing money at you.
Oh, why?
Zegers PB. Happy Friday from Paul Zegers, KCMO.
Kansas City, Missouri.
$50.
Thank you. I love Kansas City. I haven't been back since they did the plaza all over again. It's been like 30 years. It's like, I'm sure it's being renovated now. It's a beautiful city. Beautiful city. It's where I fell in love with country music, fishing, meat. I already liked meat, but barbecue.
I heard they have good barbecue.
Oh my goodness. They have an annual competition and everybody comes out and you go and you try everything and they sell tickets and it's just Kansas City is not fart around with its barbecue. Thank you very much, Paul. That was so nice. Thank you to Froggy as well. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me talk to you guys. Let me talk to you guys about Dr. Simkovich. I'm super excited because I'm going to be seeing my friend today who has had the essential tremor, who went to Dr. Simkovich, literally like rolling dice. Like, we'll see. Who knows what will happen? Because it's not like part of the Simkovich Concussion Institute protocol. It's like, if you suffer from, life-altering essential tremor, come see us. It's not really on his list. He's like, I don't know if it's going to do anything for her. And I said, would you at least see her? And he's like, of course. And so she went in for like 4 different treatments and has gone back for a couple, I think at least 1 tune-up, maybe 2. And she says her hands, she said it's about 70% better, which is like so huge. And I'm literally so excited. SimkovichConcussionInstitute.com. There's no reason for you not to go there and to see if there's something that can help you. If you have suffered from terrible headaches, if you know you were injured at some point, you suspect maybe the accident that you were in has left a long-lasting impact on you. 412-366-3700. 412-366-3700. It is so worth it. It is so worth it to call. They are lovely. 412-366-3700. Simkovich. ConcussionInstitute.com. She was like, I'm going to be nervous seeing you. And so what if my hands shake because I'm nervous? I'm like, why would you be nervous to see me? Like, it's not going to disappoint me if your hands are shaking. I just want you to be happy. Right? I mean, that's my selfish play here. Just be happy. Right? I mean, I look at these people who have taken up arms, who've made resisting their new religion, their new social clique, their new sense of belonging, which is so freaking nut job. Like, what? And I want to be like, I wish so much better for you. I don't want to see you on this path.
Wow. TB Brooks 123, $20. Houston, Texas is in the house.
Oh,
love this show.
Well, thank you. Thank you. T. Brooks, tell me about yourself. Tell me. I'm glad that you love this show. I love you back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. This Brad Tabke, it's very alarming to me. It's very alarming to me. And this is a guy who just, okay. Welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. We were invoking the name Ro Khanna yesterday, and I was putting it in the same sentence with the name Thomas Massie. Because as the Clintons just decide that they are above the law and they've got nothing to add to this Jeffrey Epstein House oversight investigation into all the things that the left has been freaking out about. Release the Epstein files, release everything. And Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie have this, joint legislation that President Trump signed into law. He's like, yeah, release it all. Go ahead, drop it. I'm not going to stand in your way. But do know that some of the details that come out, you're not going to be pleased with. Namely that Bill and Hill are apparently all over them, right? And so Bill and Hillary are like, we're not coming in. And we were like, Thomas Massie, where are you? Ro Khanna, where are you about that? Quiet. And this is interesting because Sean Hannity had Ro Khanna on his show last night. And he's talking about, like, look, these people protesting ICE. These are your constituents, Ro Khanna. These are the people who apparently really don't care about America. And then Hannity goes a little Caroline Leavitt. Listen.
I would hope you'd agree. I hope the president, if he's watching,
I wish it didn't happen.
Why don't we de-escalate? Why don't we lower the temperature in this country, lower the rhetoric, figure out how we enforce immigration laws, but not have ICE agents,
so you're like
the mayor
shooting
Americans?
How about you let ICE do their job and you support law enforcement and enforcing the laws of this land? Wait a minute. You are supposed. Well, they're doing it constitutionally.
They're going in Americans' homes.
Your
they're
party
citizens.
is out there demonizing them, calling them Nazis, Gestapo, fascists, and terrorists.
Used that word.
And that has created your party and you up to tonight. I've never seen you condemn the rhetoric of the leaders of your party, calling them Nazi, Gestapo, fascist. And what that is doing is inciting people. That is inciting and dehumanizing these officials, and they're now being attacked tonight.
Have you condemned the rhetoric of Republicans who call immigrants rapists and murderers? I mean, come on. There's excessive rhetoric on both sides. My view is let's tone it down.
Some of them are murderers and rapists, and you didn't get off your ass when it came to Lake and Riley and Jocelyn Nunn, when you were at a joint session speech. Why not?
Because I believe that the ones who are criminals should be deported, but not.
You could have stood up for their families, and you should be able to put out the names of the people that were murdered. You should care about getting rid of pedophiles, murderers, rapists, traffickers, gang members.
About the pedophiles, the Epstein
Last night, an officer was assaulted. Last night, an officer was assaulted by 3 illegals from Venezuela. Do you even give a rip? Do you even care?
Of course I do. Of course look,
and you don't think it's connected to the rhetoric of your party leaders? You don't think any of that's connected?
Sean, what I want to do is say that as Americans, we need to come together. There's been heated rhetoric on both sides. Let's de-escalate it. Let's understand that most people who are law enforcement agents...
Let them do their job.
But do it constitutionally. Do you want them going and harassing
constitutionally?
Okay, let me ask you this, Sean. You don't think they have done any violation in terms of the way they're acting with American citizens?
I would argue in law enforcement, 99.9% are good. There's always a bad apple. If you give me an example and I see it, I will condemn it. By the way, I condemn the officer in the George Floyd case. The guy was handcuffed, put his foot on his neck. I'm a martial artist. It's the most vulnerable part of the human anatomy. And I was one of the first people to say, wrong way to handle that. The guy had his hands cupped behind his back. Wrong.
Sean, you see half the country upset, scared with what's going on in Minnesota.
Because they're being whipped up into a frenzy by people in your party. It's got to stop. Stop. You take the leadership role. Stop the rhetoric. Let ICE do their job.
Oh, here's the crazy thing, Brock. You as a producer, tell me about the music bed. What are they supposed to be going to?
They're supposed to be going to break.
They're supposed to be going to a break.
And I guarantee someone behind the glass was waving their arms.
They're like, we got to hit a break. We got to hit a break. And they just kept going. And the producer, he keeps it up high with the music bed. That's the sign to the host. All right, time to wrap it up. Oh, no, that was 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Look, you can carve out whatever he said about Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, whatever. That is actual pushback from a total hack, Sean Hannity. Come on. Call a spade, guys. Right? Interesting, folks. The silence is deafening. Hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program on tap. Sanctuary is code for corrupt, or is it contempt? I don't know. A little Scott Jennings dismantling Abby Phillip. It is what I would say delicious. Next. Brock, the whole time, that's all you heard, right? Because all I heard was the music bed. I'm like, dude, either pot it down and realize that Hannity's going to push this to the brink. When he's done, he'll be done.
If I was the producer, I'd have cut the music.
Yes, 100%. Yes, because it became distracting. But it almost like gave it this like suspenseful, like pressure building. Like, what? Ro Khanna is a willow, but so's Sean Hannity. The question is, who's the bigger? I don't know.
Well,
I think Ro Khanna lost that one.
Can I say T Brooks 123 gave you another 20 to tell you about himself?
Oh, good.
I'm an electrical engineer. I design offshore platforms like the ones that
polluted the whole Gulf.
Oh. But I didn't design that one.
Well, I am so glad you're here. And I did just bribe you into doubling your bucks for me. So thank you for taking the bait. But I was interested. So it's nice to meet you.
And here's the thing about Hannity. For the person that says we dissed Hannity, here's the thing.
Whatever.
He comes back and says that about George Floyd.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Stop it. Read the autopsy, you moron.
Yeah. So, like,
and then what does
Ro
Khanna say?
You did.
And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Yeah, I got a hand gesture.
I gotta go potty.
Oh. So Wendy's going to the bathroom. Yeah. And listen, if you're aware of Hannity, God bless him. You know, he's very successful. Mails it in. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I have my thoughts of different hosts that I will keep to myself. A lot of people filled in for Rush Ultra. That doesn't mean you're filling in. It just means you're filling in. And they work for the same company. So, whatever. You can have your opinion. It's wrong, but you can have it. That's fine. I've worked with enough people to see who mails it in, and just by listening to a show, I can tell you how involved the host is with the prep work. Yeah. Yeah. So you went to the bathroom.
I did indeed.
And somebody on the stream took a shot.
At what?
They said she'll regroup soon. I'm not going to say who it was.
226.
Jolene.
Hello, everybody. How are you? It's great to be with you. Let me tell you quickly about Healthy Cell. You know, there are 3 things that I take every day, or that I do every day. 1 is I take Blood Flow 7. I won't stop. 2 is I drink Dr. Gundry's, and I won't stop. And now I'm drinking 2 glasses of it a day. We'll talk about that. And the 3rd thing I do is I take Healthy Cell Focus and Recall, right? You know, I think it's just a fact as we get older, and it doesn't have to be like in your 50s and 60s. It can start early. You've got a lot going on, and so you walk into a room and you're like, I totally forgot why I came in here. And you're like, I was just thinking about it 5 seconds ago. It's terrifying when you speak for a living. And so I take Focus and Recall. And I tell you guys, I mean, I got another box at home. I take it every single day. And I will say, this is what it says about it. Boost your brain power with this ultra bioavailable blend of science-backed nootropics, neurotransmitters, adaptogens, and antioxidants in a sweet peach pineapple flavored microgel that you won't be able to get off your mind. And I agree. It says sharper focus and concentration, 100%. 100%. Sometimes I start to weave like Trump does. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where did I start? I find it happens very less frequently when I'm taking Focus and Recall. And it says enhance recall and upgrade mental speed and improve alertness. I will say that 100%. And I also gave Bobby and Chris, my twins, when they were taking the SAT the last time. I'm like, just humor me. And about an hour before you go in, take this microgel. And they were like, well, what does it do? And I said, well, both of you commented how you got distracted last time taking the SAT and how there was a car alarm, I guess, in the parking lot. And I think Chris was like, it totally threw me off. All I could hear was this stupid car alarm. And I really don't feel like I did my best. And I'm like, you'll do better. And I'm not saying that's why, but they both did really, really well. And they both commented that they felt like they were in charge and able to focus. Healthycell.com/Wendy. It would be amazing if something ever worked, right? Well, that's why I like Healthy Cell. Healthycell.com/Wendy. 20% off your first order. And you're going to become addicted. You're going to be like, maybe I should try this immune super boost. Maybe I should try this calm mood so that you don't feel like you need to go drink a glass of wine. You can take a microgel and just take the steam out. I love them. Think they're great. Healthycell.com/Wendy. Okay. It is super weird to not have that noise in here, Brock.
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
I was surprised. The first thing I said is living near Portland Airport.
Yeah. It's like when you were...
On 9/11, the silence was deafening.
They killed all the flights for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived down on Washington's Landing, and that was a flight pattern, though not nearly as close as you were to your airport. But it was right over where we lived that the planes would all come. And Joe and I sat outside on our patio and was like, this is so weird. There's no noise. It's very unsettling. Very unsettling. All right. How are you guys? Thank you for all of you throwing money at me. That's fantastic. Why are we scoring something? Wendy and Brock are both tied at 1.
4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family. She once hosted a 3-hour show in just 15 minutes. She once intimidated the Electoral College to audit itself. Her monologues are so sharp, they're considered a concealed carry weapon. Fact-checker sites routinely issue her a retraction a week in advance. Even her commercial breaks trend on social media. Her freedom of speech has diplomatic immunity. She doesn't just drain the swamp has to ask for cab fare. Wendy Bell is the most interesting conservative woman on radio. Keep rumbling, my friends. 3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program is live. So this section of today's program, ladies and gentlemen, is all about sanctuary cities. Sanctuary is code for corrupt. The sanctuary cities and the sanctuary states are where you have a preponderance of crime, where you also happen to have a lot of white liberal chicks protesting for the crime apparently to continue, because as we said at the very beginning, our predicate is it's numbers game. The only way you win a numbers game is if the numbers are in your favor. So if your numbers are all about votes, if you have a highly corrosive platform that nobody is really buying into anymore, except a bunch of angry cat ladies. Okay, no offense if you love cats and live with cats. Look, if I say a bunch of, single college-educated white liberal chicks who live with cats, and you're one of those people, but you're not toxic, okay, that's fine. But do know there's a lot of them out there who are. And they take great comfort in these sanctuary cities because this is where your corruption takes place. This is where you've got all of these illegals, yes. This is where you've got the grifts and the grafts running, yes. And this is exactly where you have local and state governments refusing to cooperate with the federal government, which is oh so curious. Now, in order to say to the USDA, Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture, hey, I don't want to give you all of our SNAP benefit information because I think that it's an invasion of privacy. The federal government already knows who everybody is. There really is no privacy to invade. And so therefore your argument sucks. Step aside, provide the documents. They can't. Because if they did, then we would all know just quite how much money and how many illegals are residing in these areas and how much it's costing us. We all are on the same page. Yes? Now that America is awakening, and the silence is quite, in fact, deafening, as I've said, the left has to scramble. They need us fighting. They want, need, and are advocating for civil war because nothing covers up criminality and corruption like a smoke screen taking your attention away from it. It's January 6th, covering up the theft of the 2020 election. You've been down this road before, we all know. I want you to hear Scott Jennings on with Abby Phillips last night. And this is where low information voters and news folks expose themselves in spades. Abby Phillips wants you to believe that the breaking the Constitution story that we also heard from Ro Khanna in the last segment with Sean Hannity. ICE should do their jobs, yes, but they shouldn't be breaking the Constitution. They shouldn't be trampling the Constitution. What does that mean? What constitutional rights are people having violated by ICE coming into their communities and pulling back the criminal illegals who are making us danger or making us live in danger? Listen to Scott Jennings in a very quick 15 seconds completely eviscerate Abby's low IQ commentary.
There are documented cases of American citizens being harassed by ICE, of non-citizens being stopped randomly simply based on maybe they have an accent, maybe they happen to be in a particular place like near an airport working for Uber. And at the very least, it raises questions about whether people's constitutional rights are being violated. And if that is the case, isn't it justified for Americans to be concerned about that?
So according to the reporting, there have been 170 American citizens who have been detained for some period of time during this period in which they have deported about 660,000 illegal aliens. That's about a 99.9997% success rate. If any other government agency got stuff that right that often, we'd be throwing them a ticker tape parade.
He sounded very Herman Cain right.
That number, 99.9997, it's almost like the chance of your child surviving COVID, which we were able to blow open for you years ago while the same rabid left that's now beating the drum of constitutional freedoms being trampled by ICE tried to get you to vaccinate your newborn, calling it they're vectors of disease. And we went through the data. And I was like, how is it possible that in a country with 74 million children, there have only been 61 deaths because of COVID? And why was the CDC so intent on hiding that information from you? It's all kind of weird, isn't it? Now, this is where dangerous comes in. I want Abby Phillip to come to Pennsylvania, which I lovingly call the land before time, because of idiots like this guy, the Bucks County Sheriff named Danny Seisler. So apparently this is the new sheriff, the new guy who's in charge in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And he's just signed a document not to make people in his slice of Pennsylvania feel safer, but to give those who are breaking the law and who broke it to come into this country a little bit of a break. Listen.
Determined that the certain public safety costs of this ICE partnership are greatly outweighed by any potential public safety benefits that this partnership may offer. That is why this morning I signed an order terminating the 287G partnership between the Bucks County Sheriff's Office and ICE. My decision to terminate this partnership was based solely on public safety considerations, and it is my belief that this action will restore the trust between tens of thousands of our residents and the brave officers who protect and serve them. Furthermore, I signed an additional order prohibiting my deputies from asking crime victims, witnesses, or court observers about their immigration status during any interaction with our office.
That is the sound of a dying community. That is the sound of failure. That is the sound of woke. That is the sound of death. Right there. That's what that is. You've got a law enforcement official telling you proudly that he plans on not enforcing the law. Good luck when the machete-wielding wacko climbs through your back door. Okay? There you go, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Now, these sanctuaries, as we know, which are code for corrupt, I think we need to go out to Ventura County, where the sheriff there, who's a guy named Jim Fryhoff, is interviewed by a podcaster, popular Californian named Lori Mills. And she's asking this guy, who's head of the sheriff's office there in Ventura County, California, so, sir, you're not allowed to, because of literal legislation enacted here in this sanctuary state of California, you're not allowed to interact with ICE agents. Is that correct? Listen to the lunacy, how far Democrats have gone to prevent ICE agents from doing their job to keep you safe.
You're limited on what you can do in cooperation with ICE.
That's correct.
We have had 300,000 migrant children go missing from the Biden administration, and it's my understanding the 101 corridor is a big corridor to traffic kids and people. What are you doing as sheriff to look out for possible migrant children that could be hidden in our communities?
That's a great question. So because we can't have any involvement at all with immigration other than very narrow parameters that SB 54 allows, unless we get a call of truly like a human trafficking type of thing for us to investigate, we're not actively investigating anything as it relates to immigration. We have to rely on our federal partners to do that exclusively. Now, if somebody's in my custody that's been held to answer, meaning not just arrested, but actually where a judge has looked at the arrest and said, okay, there's enough information here to hold this person for those charges that are serious or violent felonies, or they've been previously convicted of a serious or violent felony within a certain time period. On those instances, those very narrow instances, I can communicate with immigration, letting them know the release date. And that's the extent of the communication. So immigration will reach out and say, we're interested in this inmate. And then we review that inmate to see if they meet the criteria.
These are the hoops of suck. Do you guys pay attention to when Bobby Kennedy and Marty McCary and the folks at FDA and CDC and all these other folks, HHS, came together and they took the food pyramid and all of the garbage involved with that, and they took 160 pages of rules and recommendations and red tape and all this gummed up garbage, and they boiled it down to 10 pages. And the 10 pages are pretty interesting. Try to limit how much sugar you eat, how much soda you drink, eat a lot of lean protein, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. That was it. There you go. 160 boiled down to 10. You know what we want? We want all of the rules and the regulations like this SB 54, the California Values Act, which, by the way, restricts state and local police from assisting federal immigration enforcement, creating safer spaces for communities. That's what it says. By preventing your local and state authorities from communicating with ICE, you're going to put up this imaginary, barrier. I do not see you. I cannot talk to you. How does that make communities safer, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, that's right. It doesn't. It just gums up the work so the illegals can stay under the radar and vote Democrat. It's all a numbers game, guys. It's all about the census. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, what a sad story. I know who wins Worst Family of the Year. You guys want to bet who it is? Who do you think? Worst Father of the Year. Hasn't met his daughter yet. What do you think? Answer next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. And can anybody explain to me why the ACLU is suing on behalf of these illegals? How dare you come into our country, break our laws, and then try to sue us? Who the hell are you? It's like the Somalian douchebags who are calling cops on Nick Shirley. You're not allowed to knock on our door and ask questions. How much of our taxpayer money have you already collected? Away with you! He's harassing me. He doesn't like Muslims. He doesn't like dark people. He's nationalistic, right? It's crazy. And if you say this to a lefty, they're like, what? There's no talking crazy. I don't know. There's no negotiating with it. I want to tell you about the healthy fat because I'm drinking it twice a day now. I drink one in the morning. And Brock makes me one in the afternoon. I know. Isn't that cool? This is what I talk about. This is it. Right here. MCT Wellness. This is for significant weight loss. Or if you drink water and you're trying not to eat poorly during the day, right? You're like, I have terrible cravings after lunch. I need something chocolate or salty. No, you don't. When you drink this in a beautiful glass of cool, glistening water, you're like, I'm satisfied, first of all, and I'm not even remotely hungry for 4 or 5 hours. It's pretty good. And I love it. So if you want to lose significant weight, Dr. Gundry said he drank this in lieu of a meal every day. I mean, it's a dietary supplement. He lost 70 odd pounds. 70. What? Slow, steady, predictable, delicious weight loss in a scooper. MCT Wellness. You can get it by going to The Healthy Fat. thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. It is so good. Delicious. I don't know. I kind of like this watermelon one. I got a watermelon at home too, so I'm double dosing on watermelon.
Liz Collin.
Yes.
Has an update. Says multiple sources confirming now this number has climbed, talking about the police who have taken paid leave, this new family paid leave, so they don't have to put
from Minnesota, yeah.
Yes. Has climbed to more than 100 Minneapolis police officers who have applied for the new paid leave program.
That's kind of...
That's calling screwing you.
Yeah, that's code for I don't agree with what's going on. I would think. That's what I would think. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Tricia McLaughlin went off on CNN.
Is that so?
In the last 5 weeks, we have arrested 2,500 criminal illegal aliens off the streets of Minneapolis. I've not seen CNN cover who's some of those individuals are. Mm-hmm. She's right.
What did we do? We've covered several of them, right? Including the guy who decapitated his girlfriend.
That's just...
And he dragged her head by the hair. He carried it. He carried her head by the hair.
He is insane.
Yes.
But we don't need people like that in society. If you can't survive in society...
if you have to eat a cat...
Well...
Full stop.
I'm drinking out of my Wendy Bell mug.
What do you want? A ticker tape parade? What? Was it significant that...
No.
What else would you be drinking out of? Did I miss something? I'm sorry. Was that rude? He doesn't have feelings. That there are people in this country who are illegal aliens who shouldn't be here, who have the audacity to sue, to use our system, by the way, and they can do this for free. You and I would have to pay, right? But the ACLU is like, we'll totally do it. I'll take your case. What happened to the word American in the American Civil Liberties Union? Has the ACLU done anything for actual Americans for a while? Or is this just like the law firm of the Democratic Party? Because it seems like it. So the ACLU of Southern California and Wikipedia is suing to keep ICE agents out of California. Are you out of your mind? Yeah. But this is the part that I don't know. This makes me sad. I wish I could gloat or I could take joy in other people's suffering, particularly if I think they're lousy people. But I don't find that a child getting caught up in anything is worthy of celebration. Do you guys get this story? It's so sad. London Roberts. She is the woman, and I feel badly for her because she's called just a stripper, right? I'm sure London Roberts is a lot more than a stripper. She got together with Hunter, had a baby named Navy Jean. This is the infamous daughter that Hunter disavowed, and London had to go to, DNA and get DNA to prove he's the father, to prove paternity. This is the granddaughter that Joe and Jill Biden, as President and First Lady of the United States, failed to put up as their 7th grandchild, a stocking for at the White House. We do not see you. We do not recognize you. Well, about that. Hunter Biden's baby mama, London Roberts, asks a judge to jail Hunter for failing to pay child support. So Hunter Biden wrote a book, right? Oh, a beautiful mind. Oh my gosh. Brian Stelter was like, it's just so amazing. Right? He's got that, so he's got revenue. Apparently, everybody rushed out to get it. I'm sure it's a New York Times bestseller, right? And then he's got all of his paintings, those blob paintings. Or did he lose all those in the fires, Brock? I don't remember. Where is Kevin Morris to buy all of his stuff? Well, London Roberts was like, look, you're the father of my daughter. And she originally asked for $20,000 a month for child support, which is exorbitant, but whatever. The Bidens, you might as well try. They've been horrible to her and her daughter. So she asks for $20,000. Well, he doesn't come in and do anything like that, but she has a soft spot, I guess. Here we go. Hunter Biden's baby mama, London Roberts, asked an Arkansas judge to jail Hunter for failing to pay child support. Hunter has a 6-year-old daughter, Navy Jean, with the former D.C. stripper, London Roberts. For years, Joe Biden refused to acknowledge Hunter Biden's love child with Roberts. In 2023, London Roberts agreed to lower Hunter Biden's $20,000 per month child support payments to $5,000. All she really wanted was her daughter to have a relationship with her father. So she cut the ask by 3/4 and said from 20 to 5, but I need help raising this daughter of ours. She keeps asking for him, London says. She wants to meet her father. As part of the agreement, Hunter Biden was supposed to meet his daughter, Navy Joan. In a Tuesday court filing, London Roberts told the judge Hunter has failed to follow through with his agreement to pay her $5,000 a month. And additionally, he still has not met his daughter. Look, I don't care how you vote. I don't care where you come from, how much money you have. It's your daughter. Yours. Your blood. Your kin. And you haven't even met her. And you can't pay child support for her. The former first son, who was snorting coke off of prostitutes' rear ends, who was wheeling and dealing in crack and Burisma, who was the head, right, sitting at the board of Burisma, making $1 million, who was shaking down CEFC. I'm sitting next to my father, and he's very disappointed if you do blank, blank, blank. Where did the money go, guys? Where did it go? Not to London Roberts, not to Navy Joan, but up Hunter's nose, and where else? What a sad, sad commentary. This was the first family that the Democrats told us America should get behind. This represents the values of the American people, really. A man who clearly didn't win an election, whose entire career politically was based off of the tragic death of his wife and daughter, who moved forward to have a sordid, sordid life. How sad. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, my friends, America sends a message to President Trump. This is the moment, and there was a truth by the president that leads me to believe that it is here. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
Froggy gave another $20.
Froggy, what do you want?
Because you pee way more than anyone he knows. Maybe you should slow down on the coffee.
Huh. I've gone once. That's curious. Curious, Russell. When you know, you know. How's everybody? All right, let me tell you about the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh, pittsburghdiscinstitute.com. Dr. Richard Rafferty. It must be very gratifying to take somebody who comes into your office for an evaluation in a wheelchair, because the pain is so bad when they stand and walk. It's unbearable. 2 or 3 months later, see that person walk out of your office unassisted and pain-free and smiling. That's what Dr. Rafferty gets to do. And he does it every day, and he's been doing this for years. So bulging or herniated discs in your back, they can grow back. There's the therapy that can grow them back. They can regenerate. So instead of having surgery, sometimes you got to have surgery, but before you need that surgery, you can grow back the discs. And Dr. Rafferty is the guy who does it. PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. Call 412-906-9600. Ask about intra-disc neutrosis. And you're like, Pittsburgh? Am I really going to go to Pittsburgh? You kidding me? To walk around pain-free for the rest of your life, 98% successful? Yeah. It's worth it. 100%.
I don't understand why, since his art career's gone.
I know.
Why doesn't he just get a job coding?
Oh, you know what? That's a great call, Brock.
He's obviously bright. He paid $80,000 a month. What, 80 from Burisma? He could probably pick it up like that, says his dad.
Give them context if they're unaware.
And you know what? If you don't pay your child support, they just take it out of your paycheck.
Uh-huh.
And if they don't do that, they do put you in jail.
Uh-huh.
Get a job, Hunter.
Unless you're a Biden.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Clinton, right?
Ford's hiring.
Who's going to take all these? Who's going to fill all these jobs?
Yeah, Hunter.
Said Tony DeCopel.
He won't be able to pass the drug test.
Well, that is true. There are strict rules about the line, right? If you are going to operate heavy machinery, don't
snort coke off hookers' butts before you come to work.
That's just so grody. You're just so grody. It's like the best word I have for it. 2.54. Look at you guys go. How great. Thank you. All right. So what else can I tell you about Ireland contracting? I remember when Diane Ireland told me that her son, Dan, was joining the family business. That I guess he had gone to Penn State and he did a semester at Penn State and he told his parents, he's like, this is so not for me. I want to go to trade school. And I'm sure Gary and Diane were like, yes, you do that, son. And he went to become an electrician. And then he came back. And now, as he's going to be doing work at my house in the spring, doing some landscape lighting with Ireland Contracting, he has his own apprentice. He has his own junior guy who's an 18, 19-year-old kid. He's super hardworking. He's super eager. What a great legacy to pass on and to train other people. I love it. I think it's wonderful. These jobs are going to become so important. So important. Ireland Contracting, 1-800-NEW-ROOF, IrelandContracting.com. Obviously, it's specific to Pennsylvania, to our slice of the land before time, the southwestern corner of it. But if you live in this area, 1-800-NEW-ROOF, IrelandContracting.com. Roofing, siding, windows, soffit, fascia, downspouts, gutters, all of it. And electrical with Dan, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. How about Kelly Morgan's even putting out a scholarship?
Yeah, I saw that.
She's putting out a scholarship. I'm going to pull it up in just a minute and take a look at it before I talk about it. But I love local businesses that are always interested in giving back to the kids, 100%. Let's see how you guys are doing out there. All right. Well, thank you for being here. So I saw some scut on Eric Swalwell. Somebody put out that Swalwell's wife is saying that he's been cheating on her and that she's got proof that he's been embezzling money and all of this stuff. And if you look at his companies, blah, 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 he gets all of these insider information, blah, blah, blah. We tried to corroborate it. but I can't.
Once again, can you believe it?
I can't. I could see it, but
I mean, Fang.
You know. Fang.
Whatever her name.
It's like you can't make it up.
No.
You can't make it up.
That's
It's preposterous.
She said, "What? You know what breakfast? You know what movie that's from?"
No.
It's an Adam Sandler movie.
No.
Big Daddy.
Okay.
It's a funny show. Funny movie.
I like this segment because you guys get to hear from people just like we are. You know, these people aren't rehearsing. Puddin' probably is, but these other people aren't.
Love Puddin'.
I do too. She's cute. Welcome back to the Wendy Bell Radio program. A delight to be with you. WendyBellRadio.com if you'd like to get the live video stream. And hey, remember, you can help us because we are right on the cusp of 7 million podcast downloads. Wendy Bell Radio, just plug that in wherever you get your favorite listening material and take our podcast with you on the go. I think you'll like it. Okay, so this is a great segment. I enjoy this very much because we listen every day. Brock and I do. We spend hours scrolling through our social media, going to different websites and different subscriptions we have to try to get a well-balanced, show for you every single day. And some of these voices that are coming out are they're really spectacular. And I think it is indicative of how fed up the average American is. We're all the average American. But it's like, I know that this fraud is going on. I know that there are bad people. I know that I don't trust government. I know all of these things. But I never absolutely feel as though the Republican Party is taking action. I never see decisive leadership in terms of, well, we did with, let's say, the strikes in Iran and taking out, what's-his-face, Maduro. Here at home, where is the strike? On the rhinos in Congress, where's John Thune doing one of nothing? Where's Mike Johnson? Why aren't we doing more? This is exactly what you did last time. We're tired of it. This is a gentleman who speaks for the majority. He says, we the people want you to do what has to be done. Listen.
Well, I guess I get to be that guy. I get to be the guy that says what everyone else is thinking. Mr. President, we the people would like for you to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. We the people are exhausted. We the people have witnessed the minority, the domestic terrorists burn this country down for the better part of a decade, and they have done so under Democrats.
Enough to these folks who are always out putting out videos. And this fella, I forget what his name is, but he's a frequent flyer. He's hard to grab because he swears so much all the time, right? This one, he does not swear. Let's give it another go.
Well, I guess I get to be that guy. I get to be the guy that says what everyone else is thinking. Mr. President, we the people would like for you to invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807. We the people are exhausted. We the people have witnessed the minority, the domestic terrorists burn this country down for the better part of a decade, and they have done so under Democrat leadership. They have done so with the liberal media provoking it and fueling it. And we have watched them destroy this country without repercussions. We have witnessed them attack our military and attack our law enforcement without repercussions. We the people are tired of going to work every single day while watching these lazy domestic terrorists burn our country down, again, without repercussion. So on behalf of we the people, we the majority, we would like for you, Mr. President, to please intervene. Send in the military. Do what you have to do. Because we the people want to do everything we can to avoid a civil war. And if the government can't get them under control, then that means we the people have to. That means we the majority have to step up and do your job. And I have been against the civil war since the beginning. Because if you can't gain control of this situation, eventually one day they're going to push too hard and the American people are going to rise up. The majority will rise up to put the minority in its place. And that's the last thing I want to see happen on American soil. So on behalf of we the people, we the majority, do what you got to do to regain control of this country, because we the people want accountability. I love all of you. I'm your Huckleberry.
So let me ask you this. Say that a couple thousand people, just like that gentleman, decide that they're tired of waiting, and they decide to go to Minneapolis, and they provide a line of defense for these ICE agents, and they get in the way of these violent protesters, not with weapons. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. And they form a barrier. Is that what it's going to take, Mr. President? Is it going to take the average American citizen who's also working a couple jobs just to make ends meet, to make this whole thing worthwhile? Does it take us showing up and doing the job that you should be doing, that our military can be doing? I want you to hear Putin. You know this young lady. She's a great social media presence. And we cut her up in two because it is intense. But what she says out of the gates here is important. She's had enough as well. She says, invoke it already, Mr. President. But she explains what a beautiful explanation of how a lot of Americans. And what I hear when I listen to her voice is I imagine Iran. You know, we're not allowed to see what's going on in Iran right now. Why? Because they knocked out the internet. Who knocks out the internet? A government that doesn't want its people to be able to share with the rest of the world what's going on. Period. There is no other reason. What's it going to take in America for enough people to say, I've had enough? For enough people to show up in Minneapolis and to stand together arm by arm and say to the protesters and the malignant kamikaze Karens and the losers like Don Lemon and Jacob Fry who want to incite riots, not on our watch. To get to the ICE agents doing their jobs, you're going to have to go through us. And when you go through us, you're breaking the law if you hurt a single one of us. What's it going to be? See, in Iran, they're fighting for their lives. They're not just fighting for freedom. They're fighting for their lives. What does it take when the American voter, the American citizen, the American everyday average person who nobody knows to rise up and say, I have freaking had enough? What is that moment if it is not now? I want you to hear Jonathan Turley, law professor at, where is he? Washington and
I thought George Washington.
George Washington University. He's like, look, precedent is here 30 times before. President Trump has every right now to drop the Insurrection Act.
Well, I hope that this can be avoided. But if you're asking the question of, does he have the authority to invoke it? I think he does. The Insurrection Act is very generally worded. It allows a president to call out a military force in order to enforce the laws of the United States. That was done by Presidents Eisenhower and Kennedy in very similar circumstances. In those circumstances, you had local officials, including governors, who were extremely aggressive, anti-federal government, saying they would not assist in the enforcement of civil rights laws. These are obviously different laws. These are the immigration laws, but both are laws of the United States. And you have a governor here and a mayor who have been fueling the rage, telling people that they're under attack. You have Democratic senators just this week saying democracy might not last till November. All of that's creating the very volatile situation. So under the Insurrection Act, the president has a great deal of authority. What it gives the president is essentially a way around the Posse Comitatus Act, which prevents him from using the military domestically. The Insurrection Act removes that barrier and allows him to call out troops, as did Eisenhower and Kennedy.
And this is where social media influencer Puddin comes back and she says, this is the very moment that the Constitution anticipated.
And let's be clear, sir. It must be held.
I couldn't agree any more with her. And now I'm just saying this from just a few moments ago. Breaking: 24 Democrat members of Congress, organized by Ilhan Omar, are traveling to Minnesota to target ICE kidnappers. You know what they're going to go with, ladies and gentlemen? I guarantee you they're going to go with bodyguards. They're going to go with their own security force to keep them safe. A force that Nick Shirley isn't afforded. A force that his sidekick, David Hoke, hasn't been afforded. A force that the American people haven't been afforded. Because the Democrat Party opened up the floodgates. And when things went haywire, which they did, and young women got snatched, whether they were going for a jog at the University of Georgia, or they were plucked walking out of a mall, raped, strangled, and thrown off of a bridge, these moments were predicted, and they could have been prevented. And now Democrats in Congress want to insert themselves into the Minneapolis madness. Do you need any more proof? The Democrats need civil war. When we come back on the Wendy Bell Radio program, let's talk about Denmark. Let's talk about Greenland. Why did J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and these two muckety-mucks from Denmark and Greenland get together? Well, they had a good talk. What does it mean for our acquisition of Greenland? Caroline Levitt says it's a go. Really? Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
You have to wonder, because you can either take a deal with Trump or not get a deal and just have China and Russia take it over. Those are your options.
That's going to be the way it's presented. So here's what you have. Let's have this working group. So I guess that's what they've decided upon. We're going to have this working group or whatever and work. But I mean, that's good. That's good. That means we're progressing. It is of the benefit of the of people in Greenland. You know, a relatively insignificant number, though. Whatever. It's not like the American government is going to come in and completely fundamentally change your world, right? We actually are the country of peace and stability and development and all of that. It's going to have to be done in a specific way, and it will. They'll figure it out. So, anyway, there goes Brock, potty break. Like, I wasn't paying attention. He snuck out the door and looked back to make sure. I'm like, please, turkey. All right, I want to tell you about bodybyAIM360.com. I want to tell you, they have two things going on there, and both, I believe, are significant. One is the weight loss program that's predicated on your blood test. It's a very extensive blood draw, right? It's like 60-odd different biomarkers and a dozen different hormones, all of this stuff, investigating your blood. If you were to go to your PCP and say, you know what, I want this blood panel, I want to see what's going on, they'd be like, first of all, insurance doesn't cover it. And if you wanted to pay out of pocket, it'd probably be a couple grand. Dr. Dubiak gives it to you for like pennies on the dollar. It's ridiculous. It is through that blood test then and those results that he looks at your numbers and your hormones and all this other stuff. And he's like, all right, we're going to create a plan for you to lose meaningful weight. And he does. And Brock did it. And Brock lost 70 pounds. So 5-6 months later, 70 pounds later, it's mind bending. The other side is the DNA testing. And this is something that you're not going to get anywhere else. This is exclusive to Dr. Dubiak. And it's called AIM Print. And it's for $499. You get the most extensive panel of your DNA. And it shows you your propensity. What is your likelihood of having these various issues? Whether it's alcoholism, cancer, anxiety, problem sleeping, all these various things. It is remarkable, the dive that this gives you. And it's a really response in my mind. I want to live a long time to torture my children, and I'll have to pay for their therapy anyway, so I have to keep alive. But this tells me a lot about what did I learn in mine? That I literally have negative risk factors for obesity. So I'm probably not ever going to be fat in my life. However, it sees me marching toward diabetes because of various other things in my system. Say what? I never heard that before. You could find out about gluten. You can find out about cheese. You can find out about your sleep patterns. You can find out about all of these things. BodybyAIM360.com. That DNA stuff is called AIM Print. Oh my. 37 pages of results. Make sure you get the $79 consultation because you won't be able to read this. You're going to be like, say what? And they're going to walk you through it and tell you what it means. So worthwhile. So worthwhile because the whole goal is, all right, we've identified these hazards down the road. What can I do now to change path? Because you can. That's it. That's the plan. BodybyAIM360.com. 412-227-9255. Just going to say, that's what it is. Welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. So I heard a very interesting Caroline Levitt soundbite yesterday after she was done eviscerating the one guy from thehill.com. He was like, why is it that 117 American citizens have been arrested by ICE agents? Oh my gosh. And she's like, out of 660,000. Really? So 0.00002%. That's your question. Of all of the things going on right now, that's your question. You are a hack reporter. You are a fake news hack. Period. Well, she goes on and says this later on in the press conference, which I think is awesome. She's talking about Greenland. Somebody asks, what's the deal? Are you making progress? Is it really true that America thinks that Greenland should be part of our country? Listen.
It's a productive meeting. It was a good meeting. And in that meeting, the two sides agreed to really establish a working group of individuals who will continue to have technical talks on the acquisition of Greenland. Those talks will take place, I'm told, every 2 to 3 weeks. So this is a conversation the administration intends to keep having with the Danes and with the respected delegation from Greenland. But the president has made his priority quite clear. He wants the United States to acquire Greenland. He thinks it's in our best national security to do that.
Period. Okay. So we've got Marco Rubio on this. We got JD Vance. JD, can you imagine Kamala Harris ever being involved with any kind of discussions of any import? Because Joe Biden wasn't a part of any conversations of any import. He was in his hyperbaric chamber getting juiced up with whatever he was getting to be vertical for a couple minutes, while 40% of his presidency, we saw him dragging a beach chair without a shirt on, which nobody should ever see, right? Across the Delaware beach, lying, hunkering down and falling asleep underneath his umbrella as 13 Marines are blown up in Afghanistan, service members, right? Like, can you imagine? And we've got JD Vance here on the front lines of these conversations. We're going to be meeting regularly every 2 weeks. So this is a great CNBC takeaway. 5 takeaways that I think we all need to imagine. This isn't Donald Trump big-footing Denmark. This isn't him coming in and being like, oh yeah, we're the United States. We get to do whatever we want. He's merely saying, we're the peacekeepers of the planet. We're the place that everybody goes when there's a natural disaster, where there's some kind of an emergency and there needs to be money or humanitarian support. Everybody comes to the United States. And you know what the United States sees? It sees to the north. It sees some very interesting, let's just say, strategy, some space that we need to have, because there's a lot of things going on out there that are threats to our hemisphere. And we will not be threatened in our hemisphere. Make no mistake, Russia and China and Iran ain't going to happen. Here are the takeaways. This White House meeting over Greenland's future Wednesday ended without a diplomatic breakthrough, but the U.S., Denmark, and Greenland have agreed to keep talking. Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke Rasmussen described the conversation as frank but constructive. So basically, I'm sure Rubio and JD Vance were like, look, this is the deal. This is what we want. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, right? This is what they said, pretty much. CNBC takes a look at the 5 key takeaways. All right. The White House meeting on Wednesday between U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the Danish Foreign Minister, and Greenland's Vivian Mostfeds, who is apparently who is she? She's their Minister of Foreign Affairs. Donald Trump's repeated threats to take control of Greenland, they say, were totally unacceptable. Does everybody understand how Trump negotiates? This is the art of the deal, right? He's not going to come at you with his best offer. He's not going to come at you and be like, well, why don't we do this? We can go halvesies on the blah, 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 and I'll give you this and you'll give us that. He's like, screw off. We're coming in. We're taking you over and you're going to like it. We're going to put our flag on your sand and that's it. Discussion over. Oh, wait a minute. You wanted to negotiate. Okay, well, why don't I send a couple of my representatives over to you and we'll get some stuff started. That's exactly what happened. The White House talks did achieve something significant. U.S., Denmark, and Greenland agreed to establish a high-level working group to try to determine a way forward for the self-governing Danish territory. And by doing so, the 3 countries have averted a worst-case scenario, which is basically you'll have to come in by force. Donald Trump doesn't want to go into Greenland by force. He has no interest in wanting to roll in the military and being like, look, I tried to do this the easy way. You guys are forcing me to do it the hard way. Knock it off. What he's saying is we're protecting our hemisphere and we're going to protect Greenland. So if you fold into the United States, the same way he offered it to Canada, and how many Canadians right now, how many Canucks are like, about that? As their prime minister is heard very loudly saying, you know what? We're all part of the new liberal world order, and we are getting into bed big time with China. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what President Trump is trying to stop. China, Russia, Iran, you're not welcome over here. You go fiddle over there in your hemisphere. We're going to keep doing things great over here. And we're going to keep an eye on you strategically from space, from underwater with our submersibles, and certainly up here in Greenland, where we can see all of you who want desperately to ship through the Arctic channels. So that is what's going on. President Trump, no doubt, will get what he wants. It's a matter of how is it going to be. It's going to be of great benefit, by the way, to the people of Greenland. No doubt. When we come back, hour number 3 of this Wendy Bell radio program, let's talk about the ACLU a little bit, shall we? Forgetting that American Civil Liberties Union, that's what it's supposed to be doing, because all things mucked up over there. Next. I don't know how people don't see that Trump does that, right? He puts it out there and he's like bombastically insulting almost. Oh yeah, we can make you our 51st state. Come on over. And people are like, what? Whether or not Donald Trump had any plans to make Canada an American territory or what have you, strategically speaking, it would be legendary and the people of Canada would benefit. We'd certainly benefit too.
Well, what makes you think saying Canada 51st state makes it easier for Greenland?
Yeah.
You know, and in any negotiations, you start high.
Yeah.
You start
We're
high.
taking
we're just come take
We're
you.
just going to have
and
it.
then they
Yes.
get all blustery
Yeah.
and they be like,
Okay.
well, we could pay for it.
Yeah.
Well,
and they're like, oh, wait,
now
what?
we have options.
So now you've bridged
You
that.
give them options now.
Yes. You've bridged that immediate knee-jerk reaction of offense, like, what? And then you like dangle like Leanna Wen. Remember that, Brock? I know you do. Right? With COVID. She's like, you can't let people go out and all of a sudden start celebrating the 4th of July and having backyard barbecues together. Then all of a sudden it's going to be chaos. Nobody's going to listen to us anymore.
No one's listening anyways.
And we were like, ew, you creep. God, I have such disdain for so many people. How does she do it and stay so attractive? I don't know.
Leanna Wen isn't attractive. What?
Oh, yeah, she's a turd. Whatever. Planned Parenthood turd. 6,300 hanging steady. 2.73 rumbles.
Don't forget the pet show tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, so pet show tomorrow. If you're new to this channel, this is why you have to go down and, why we suggest that it's good for you to click the follow button. Because underneath the follow, when you hit the follow button, you'll get a little notification when Dr. Mike Hutchinson, world-renowned veterinarian, and Brock do the pet show tomorrow at noon at 10. This is literally an hour to an hour and 15, 20 minutes of, is it usually about that?
Yeah.
Of free veterinary advice. And Dr. Mike is big into stem cells. He's big into alternative healing. And he's 100% an animal lover.
Yeah. He's single-handedly the smartest man I know.
I love him. I think he's just fantastic. So that's tomorrow. And then Sunday, since we have Demanda's music video or her song and the video that accompanied it. Oh, she's not sharing it with you yet?
Well, no, I have it.
Oh.
I have to do it. So,
You have to do what?
Download it, upload it.
Oh, no. Give it to me. I'll do it. Whatever. Weekends with Wendy. Yes. Yes. Yes, your Rumble does say that, Aunt Polly. You're right. 100% correct. You love this damn show, says Bex for me. Good. I'm so glad. See, that's why if you hit follow, then when we go live 7 times a week at the max, 5 days of this, then Dr. Mike, and then sometimes Weekends with Wendy. And you know the rules with Weekends with Wendy. I wear a tiara and no makeup, and I'm fabulous. And I sometimes say the F word. Sorry. It's not very
And sometimes you have to pee in the middle of it.
I do. I usually have to get up in the middle of it and go to the bathroom. Well, it's a long time. I'll slog through with you people. It is very bizarre to not hear that. So weird. It's really peculiar, and I know I've chewed Brock's ear off over this a million times. It's, I have to say that you've made this transition into podcasting and radio and live streaming and all of that so much more enjoyable than television. It's amazing. And I've talked with Brock about it, and I talked with Joe about it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, and I was even talking to my financial advisor last night. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be done with television. I think it's time. It doesn't give me joy. They're doing other things anyway. So I think this is it. And my financial advisor was like, well, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, I feel kind of relieved, which is neat. Isn't it cool when you can go through different chapters of life? Well, I'm walking through a different one right now. And it's because of you. So thank you. I'm very grateful. All right, let's see what you guys are doing. I could tell you about Kelly Morgan and More Gains Fitness. She just dropped on me that she's doing this thing. Let's see. Here she is. I love this. This is the quality of our sponsors. So Kelly Morgan, More Gains Fitness, 4 locations in Somerset and Cambria counties. MorgainzFitness.com. She's the one who does the 90 Ignite. Busts your butt, and in 90 days, you look very different. It's the before and afters on her website are, but now she's got the More Gains Fitness Scholarship. 2026 applications open. Any high school senior in Cambria or Somerset County attending college, trade school, or technical school in the fall in 2026 can apply by visiting moregainsfitness.com and completing the Google form. Deadline is March 31st. Winners will be announced in the spring. And there's obviously some kind of a financial reward to this, which is great. I think that's wonderful. So good for you, Kelly Morgan. Always thinking about, right, touching the next generation. I love it. Love her.
There's a lot of people out there that rely on not the big, huge scholarships.
Oh, Matt for Burgettstown just bought one of these.
Oh.
The Wendy Bell Radio Second Amendment commemorative gift, which you can find. It's a series of 3. We have 2 of the 3 out. First one is sold out. Second one, we probably still have maybe 80 left. And then third will drop. You don't think?
I mean,
This is the second one. The first one had obviously the logo, so you stick it up and there it is. But on the back of it, this one is the North is Still North. This is the Clarence Thomas speech that leads off our show every single day. The first one was the Second Amendment. And the third one is going to be the Pledge of Allegiance, because it's something that we do every single day before the show. And it's not a gimmick, or going into the show. It's not a gimmick. It's because freaking Jerry Nadler was like, we don't have to say the Pledge of Allegiance here in our Senate committees or in our House committee. WendyBellRadio.com if you're interested. Matt from Burgettstown, thank you. Thank you for that. I think
5, 4, 3,
old school.
2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you.
It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in New York for his alleged hush money payment.
A grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump on state charges stemming from his efforts to overturn Joe Biden's victory.
Breaking news, the federal indictment against Donald Trump, all related to his handling of classified documents after leaving office.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
And they're not taking this White House. We're going to fight like hell, I'll tell you right now.
It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. Hour number 3 of the Wendy Bell Radio program is live. You know, if there was a moment that won President Trump his 3rd election, and look, I'm not going to play games anymore, and I'm not going to dance around it and say 2020 Joe Biden won. I mean, that's what they told us. That's what we got. That's not what I believe the results were. And I think obviously they went so far to try to cover it up so that we would stop talking about it. It's so obvious, right? The moment that won Donald Trump his 3rd presidency was July 13th. Was it 2023, 2024? Whatever it was when he got shot at Butler. In that moment, the hopes of the deep state to neutralize their number one enemy, the favorite of the people, instead of taking him out, they shot him to the top of the leaderboard. There was no way, no how, no Democrat was going to scratch any surface of President Trump that day. after that day. Fight, fight, fight. The blood, all of it, the imagery. You thought it was bad when they did the mugshot, which backfired and he was able to use and put in the Oval Office to piss off people. They tried to kill the person that you and I wanted. That's all you needed to know. And if they would be willing to do something that despicable, which has been done before, imagine how desperate they are to stop him today. Look, I think we need to be serious about some of these organizations, this ACLU of nonsense. I remember as a young girl growing up and hearing about the ACLU. This was sort of like a law firm almost, in my mind, that would go after bad people who were hurting little guys, right? And they would fight on their behalf. We're going to fight, fight, fight for you. You won't be whatever. Trampled, your rights won't be violated. You've got us on your side. Let's go. Yeah, I might have been wrong all the while about that, because who these people are now is rabid law school graduates who believe it is incumbent upon them to do what Thomas Crook's bullet didn't do that day. Destroy Trump. And I have to read you this story from Breitbart. It defies all logic. There's no way people who tell the truth or have common sense look at this in any other way other than the ACLU is an activist legal firm for the deep state. Breitbart.com headline. ACLU in Minnesota sues, the ACLU sues to stop ICE from arresting Somali and Hispanic illegal aliens. In what world does the American Civil Liberties Union file suit against the federal government to stop arresting the threats who are putting us in danger and stealing our tax dollars? Like, I mean, honestly, how many times do you look at the headlines and you're like, there's no way. This has got to be opposite day, right? We're inside out and upside down. What in the Sam Hill is going on? Well, let's read this. And then you decide. Minnesota residents of Somali descent and Hispanic heritage are suing President Donald Trump's Department of Homeland Security and ICE to effectively shut down federal immigration enforcement across the state. They want the grift to continue. These people are starving. They cannot survive in Somalia. They came here. We're tipped off to a wonderful opportunity, right? It's like having a timeshare. It sounds like a great opportunity. And then you realize, oh my gosh, I never have to do anything ever again. Unlike a timeshare, right? And they don't want this to stop. And so they're going to sue. They're going to use our legal system, right, to sue, to keep terrorizing us and to keep stealing our money. In what world does that make sense to you? And then in what world do you then have that stark reality and see people who have no business protesting, putting their lives, their bodies on the front lines of this fight to get into the face of an ICE agent? We saw that one lady yesterday who drove to an active ICE situation with her 6-year-old in the car. What are you doing? Do you know that that's crazy? No. That's resisting to them. On Thursday, the left-wing American Civil Liberties Union, representing Somali immigrant Mubashir Khalif Hussein, Mohammed Idris, who is an American and of Somali descent, and Javier Doe, Hispanic American, filed suit against DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and ICE Director Todd Lyons, among many other agency officials. The lawsuit is asking a federal court to issue a statewide injunction to stop what it calls unlawful policies and practices being carried out by ICE agents, including allegations of racial profiling. Now, let me ask you something. Racial profiling. Does it make me a bad person when I see somebody walking down my street who I know is not from my neighborhood, right? Who's got baggy pants on, who looks disheveled, who's got dark clothing, has a hoodie on covering his head and face, walking down the street. Now, am I wrong to look at that individual and be like, that makes me uncomfortable? Because that's the kind of person I see getting handcuffed on the evening news. That's the kind of people I see running around creating mischief. Those are the people I see depicted in movies and television shows being criminals. Now, is it my fault that I look at these people who walk down my street and say, they make me feel uncomfortable? That style reminds me of no good. Is the fault mine because I'm racially profiling? Or is it the fault of those who we associate with that kind? Because you are a product of what you experience. ACLU is saying, stop profiling people who are not white. I'm sorry. That's not what's going on here. In addition to that, now you have Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry actively submitting that Minneapolis police should work to fight ICE. I'm going to say that again. You have a mayor of the United States of America encouraging his local law enforcement to fight back against the federal law enforcers who you and I voted for. Listen.
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors.
That's scary. And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have, because you defunded the police and demonized them after George Floyd, so sucks to be you, to fight ICE agents on the street. This is how desperate they are to stop what Thomas Crook's bullet didn't. And they don't care who they take down in the way. It is beyond scary. Agents are stopping individuals who appear to be of Somali or Latino descent based on their apparent race and ethnicity. This is the lawsuit from the ACLU. And then frequently arresting them in violation of federal law and constitutional protections. How did you guys see all the people streaming across our border? Did a lot of them look like you? Did a lot of them look like they came from, I don't know, Sweden or Denmark? Did a lot of them look like they came from Finland or they came from the UK? Or did they look like they came from third world countries? But you're not allowed as a federal agent to look at them, to ask them questions, to figure out who they are, or to stop them when you know because you've got their license plate and you know what make and model vehicle they have. You're not supposed to be able to stop them and ask them their immigration status or talk to them at all. That's what the sanctuary cities allow, or prevent, I should say. It's madness. It's madness. And then, of course, what you and I are hoping to avert is another Renee Good, which seems inevitable because it is needed for the chaos to continue. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, a dude finally loses it. There's a black man. He literally on the street, on a street corner, turns his phone on himself and hits record and goes off. Not a single swear word, but the evisceration, oh my. It's next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
I sent you a text.
Is it going to hurt my feelings?
Maybe that's what your mug should say.
What?
Is it going to hurt my feelings? Damn it.
Anyway, I just thought I would put this up for you guys. Oh, there it is. I swear to God, he had like 74 ounces of coffee this morning. So Brock sent me a text, or he texted me this clip of Trump saying, if I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it. On using the Insurrection Act, which has been invoked by 48% of presidents. He's like, I don't think we're there. He seems to think that what do we have? Is it 3,000 now? They had started with 2,000 agents there, and then I think they surged with another 1,000. So the president and the intel that he's getting is they have things under control. And so maybe that is the case, and maybe I'm responding to the stuff that happens to appear in my newsfeed, which is a lot of this agitator stuff. I don't know. I trust him implicitly. However, I will say, John Thune, I've got no confidence in him. Mike, what's his face? Johnson? I don't know. He doesn't seem to be as corrupt as most people, but is that really like of all the rapists, you're the most gentle? Like, is that really a big thumbs up? We're like, woohoo, good for you, dude. I don't know. That was a bad analogy, but you know what I'm saying. Right. Let's see how you guys are doing. What's happening, you guys? Linda K. Roberts. Hello. Crige. That's a bizarre one, but okay. Hello, Q Fish. Hi, Ginge. What's going on, babe? Hi, Danae. Hi, Joma. Well, thank you. I don't know if that's the case, but I'll take it. Action is incorporated. Good morning. Like the thumbs up. What's going on, Wayne? Wayne, how are you? Wayne, what do you think about becoming our 51st state?
Wayne sent me a
That's
text
fighting
last
words
night
for him. Really?
at 12:52 a.m.
Wow,
Sorry,
Wayne, you can't do that, dude.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, that's good because you don't turn off your phone. I do. Hi, Brafty. Hi, Ray Carr. Do I think that the buzzing was contributing to my headaches? Oh, I don't know. Hi, Mark's Doodle. Hi, baby. Hi, Grammar Cop. What's up, Razorback? Hi, Esky. Demanda, how are you, babe? Hi, Randall. Hi, Otmar. And Ultra. Now I really have to go to the bathroom.
We're too late. Venice to be the 51st state. Venezuela beat us to it.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah. But, I mean, do you really get the vibe that if Trump wanted to absorb Canada, that he'd abuse it, that he would do anything other than set people free from ridiculous liberal nonsense? I mean, Wayne has he chronicled some really bleak stuff. Brock, remember when we were like, oh my gosh, we want Wayne to move and come to America and not be in like hiding. That's what he was living like. That's terrible. It's terrible. This gentleman, though. Holy cow. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Bell's Barbecue. Let's go, baby. Hi, Ortega, sorry about that. Hi, Brenda, baby, and take it easy. What's up, Shell? Program. So we got a lot of affordability stuff going on the back burner, which is really front burner stuff. It really is. And look, I am the first to admit that I get very easily frustrated by all of these ridiculous protests. And this might not be the big story of the day, what's going on in Minneapolis, but I think it is. Because I think it's indicative of what's going to be going on in every single sanctuary city and sanctuary state. This is not unique to Minneapolis and Minnesota. The Somalian fraud is not unique there. Fraud in general is not unique. But isn't it amazing that when you step forward and you say it's got to stop, this is ridiculous, I won't stand for it anymore, and then people come after you, you're like, wow, that's very enlightening. Thank you for exposing yourself. This might be the issue, the whole fraud thing. This might honestly be the issue that unites a lot of people, black and white. And this gentleman on the street, here's a black man. I don't know where he is. but he's clearly been paying attention. And that's what social media has done. Nobody's watching the news, but they are watching their news feeds. And these videos of people doing bad things and hurting other people, we've had enough. Listen to this gentleman. This might, in fact, this whole Minneapolis thing, this might be the big unifier. Black and white, dumping all of the things that we're told that drive us apart, make us hate each other, which are not true. Is this the great unifier? Listen to this gentleman.
Be online, making threats talking about, yeah, go to work. Yeah, do this, that, and the third. Working 50 hours a week. Why get benefits? And then you got the other damn somebody talking about, yeah, Trump not going to be around to see that we take it over. Let me tell you something right about now. All that damn trash talking, you better hush your damn mouth. You want to know why? Because we are not playing no damn games. And then at the same damn time, you talking about taking over. That is a declaration of war. That is really a threat to national security. Why? Because you are a foreigner. You are an immigrant in this country, really a refugee, and you over here running your damn mouth when you already are outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. You are not with the smoke, let me tell you. You do not want the smoke as an immigrant. You want to know why? Like I said before, we got guns in the black community. Guns in the white community. It's veterans in the black community. Veterans in the white community. Both communities know about war and know about guns. And let me tell you something. Even though we might have our differences, but if it comes down to us defending our country from anybody that's up there making a threat, let me tell you something. We will put all that aside and we will come together and defend. Let me tell you something. Stop running your damn mouth. That's one of the main reasons why we want a lot of y'all immigrants out. Why? Because you are very hateful and very ungrateful, and I'm tired of your own here running your damn mouth, talking this, that, and the third. I'm sick of y'all doing that, but then at the same time, you want to be waving the flag of your country, and you love your country so damn much. Why the hell are you here? You over here from another damn country that you did not fight or bleed to die for, did not build, and you running your mouth? You up there trying to make damn threats? Let me tell you something. You better keep your damn mouth shut. We're not playing with y'all. You don't want no damn smoke.
Don't want no damn smoke. I feel you. This is where a lot of people are. This gentleman knows exactly the score. He's paying attention to the people. He saw the video of Nick Shirley. He saw them call the cops on him, who then showed up to harass him. How dare you? How dare you come here? Poo on the sacrifice that how many American soldiers and citizens have died to protect, and then steal from us, and then sue us when we want to take you and send you back home. And then you want to say, you're racist. You don't like Muslims. You don't like Somalians. You're a bad person. No, it's over. See, we don't have any more F's to give. We don't care the words that you say. You do not bother us. And if you've got white, obese, liberal chicks fighting your front lines, I'm pretty sure you don't want the smoke, that man says. Brock sent me a comment from President Trump, and it's actually put out by the Trump War Room. I don't think that's his thing. I think that's just somebody who uses his name and puts out some of his stuff. And this is what he says. He's asked, this is on Fox News. President Trump takes questions from reporters, and this is what he said. If I needed it, and he's talking about the Insurrection Act, if I needed it, I'd use it. I don't think there's any reason right now to use it, President Trump said about using the Insurrection Act, which has been invoked by 48% of presidents. Trump clearly believes that progress is being made and that what's going on in Minneapolis does not rise to the occasion of sending in the U.S. military, because that's who it would be. It would be kamikaze Karens with their 6-year-olds in their cars pushing back against a United States Marine. Those optics wouldn't go well, I don't think, for anybody. But that's where President Trump is. He sees you and he hears you, but he's saying, I've got different intel than you. It's not as bad as you think. Okay. Well, when we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, By the way, next segment has good news and bad jokes for the next half hour. I don't know why you would leave, but we're going to talk about J.B. Pritzker. Maybe this is why fat cat Democrats like J.B. Pritzker are so worried about Elon Musk and Doge. This isn't a good look, J.B. Next. All right, I'm going to the bathroom. Oh, boy.
I wish he would come out and say what intel he has then. I think we're all tired of this. You know, especially the frustration sets in when you live in a blue city or a blue state and you aren't blue. And you're seeing this over and over and over again. And you just like, you want someone to take care of it, like clean up the streets. But, of course he has more intel, but then tell us what's not. Give us some insight to what you're thinking. And I know he's big on not letting people know what he thinks because it will change maybe what they do, but you're going to lose people like Puddin'. You're going to lose the gentleman we just played. You have a lot of people now because of social media that are talking directly to the president. And if you don't think he hears that stuff, he has people that watch all the social medias. And you even have some of the influencers that he is sort of connected with that have opinions about him using it.
I think everybody's gone.
I think so, too.
I think you and I are the only people here. Hi, Iowa Hawkeyes. Here you go, Wendy, for your toilet paper budget. Wow. Wow. Is that really how you're playing this? Is that really what you're going down, Balake? Thank you. All right. I am going to actually read. Let's see. It's freezing in here. Is it freezing?
My sweatshirt on your key.
Oh. That sucks. It's freezing in here. Let's see how you guys are doing. Have we gotten to... You guys have been throwing your cash at me, though. I'm telling you what. That's so nice. We're almost at 3,000 rumbles. How great. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. We've already had 37.9 thousand views. Do you want to know what people would do for 37.9 thousand views? Oh my gosh. It's crazy. I love you. Love, love, love. Okay, so I think it was Glow who gave us our good news today. But a couple of you had sent it to me because it was a Steve Hartman that has an update. And it's about law enforcement. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to support law enforcement to the best of my ability. I wonder how you feel if you live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, with a schmuck sheriff like that cat who's like, we're not going to abide by anything that the federal agents do. Okay, jackass.
We have a schmuck mayor.
Oh, my God. He's such a moron. If I saw Corey O'Connor, I'd be like, you know what? I'm so disappointed in you. Your father is disappointed in you.
Ooh.
Yes, and people who know. All right. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to do this real fast.
This is what nepotism gets you, though. This is what doing the same thing over again. Pittsburgh is a prime example of doing the same thing over and over again. And the same, like the meeting that they had about how to fight back. They had a meeting, and people in Pittsburgh politics were putting out this flyer saying, meet in Wilkinsburg on how to fight back ICE. Where's Corey O'Connor saying, hey, we're not, or put any Democrat in there. not just him, but where are you saying, whoa, wait, let's slow down here. They're not here. What are you fighting for? You're causing what the Democrats keep saying. You're causing people to be scared. Well, when you're preemptively preparing, you're telling people this is what to expect. And when you're an elected official, you're supposed to maybe have more info than everyone else. And maybe he does. And that's why they let it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Gale Force wins.
What?
Did you not get the air conditioning kick on?
I'm sure I'll feel it through the hole in my sweatshirt.
Oh my goodness. No, see, any woman knows this. If you shave your legs and get out of the shower and then like the air conditioning kicks on and you get cold and you get goosebumps, yes or no, it grows back, right? You're like, oh my gosh, but I just shaved. I swear to God, it does. And you're like, so right now I have, because I shaved, but that's how I feel right now. That's how I know it's cold. It's been a long week. I'm true. Women will tell you. Women will tell you. Yes. Ladies, come to my defense. See, yes. 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 Okay. Oh my God. Yes. See, Maggie said so. Yeah.
Oh, well, if Maggie said it, then it must be true.
Don't mess with Maggie.
On the internet.
Maggie, I'm with you, girl. Stories where, and you know all about this because you can sniff out people who suck from a mile away. The people like J.B. Pritzker out there, the Gavin Newsoms, the Kathy Hochul's, the Josh Shapiros, the folks who pretend that in sanctuary states that they preside over, that they care about actual people, that they care about actual equality or opportunity or fairness or freedom or anything that they want to clutch their pearls over. It's never about that. And it's so disappointing. Isn't it so nice when you hear about the celebrity or the sports figure or what have you, who does something good quietly? And the only reason you find out about it is because somebody blows the whistle and it's not them. And then imagine being super rich, like J.B. Fad Cat Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. His personal value, net worth right now, thanks to the Hyatt hotel chains that his family started, right? It's like $3.9 billion, something like that, right? Honestly, if you had $3.9 billion, would you have any interest in being the governor of a state? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be around anybody, right? I guess I don't know. What would you do? You'd want to travel. I'd want to see a lot of places. I'd want to play golf. I'd want to fish. I wouldn't want to be the governor of Illinois unless being the governor of Illinois was really going to be beneficial, which it seems like it has. So as we talk about all these states, the sanctuaries like Illinois, where the governor and the mayor, like, we love immigrants. We love everything. We're going to fight for you. Screw ICE. Yay, immigrant. No, it's really not like that. How about this story from stonezone.com? I guess this is Roger Stone's website. Never even heard of it before. And he has something up that I think is very interesting. And I think we need to have this front and center and not in the back of our minds when we hear these people. Pritzker attacks Doge as family-linked Hyatt takes $180 million in taxpayer-funded upgrades. I mean, some of this stuff is blatant. The Somali stuff. It's been under wraps, but it's so freaking blatant. The Quality Leering Center. I mean, how much more blatant do you need to be? The daycares with no children, no windows, no anything. How blatant do you need to be? Then there's the stuff that's a little bit quiet and just as offensive. While President Donald Trump and his Doge reformers are taking a chainsaw to federal waste in Washington, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker appears to be playing a very different game, one that funnels massive amounts of taxpayer money into assets tied to his own family's hotel empire. Like, what? This isn't some recycled political attack. It is a fresh chunk of information pulled straight from public records with conflict of interest stamped all over it. President Trump has made draining the swamp a national priority, and Illinois deserves close scrutiny because what is happening there mirrors the same breakdown in oversight now plaguing other deep blue states. Consider Minnesota. Their corrupt Democratic governance allowed one of the largest taxpayer fraud schemes in U.S. history to explode under the noses of state officials despite repeated warnings. The Feeding Our Future scandal siphoned hundreds of millions of dollars in federal COVID food aid into shell nonprofits, luxury homes, and foreign transfers, while Democrats ignored the warnings, smeared whistleblowers, and attacked anybody demanding accountability. Right? Which is why now David fears for his life. The scale of the theft continues to grow as prosecutions move forward, and additional losses are uncovered. Only after federal prosecutors stepped in did the truth begin to emerge. Illinois, however, shows the same warning signs. Different scheme, same playbook. Are you ready? In Illinois, the Metropolitan Pier and Exposition Authority has funneled more than $180 million in taxpayer money into the Hyatt Regency McCormick Place in Chicago since 2011. Governor Pritzker appoints nearly half of the board members, giving him enormous influence over how taxpayer dollars are spent. That spending includes $8.8 million in fiscal year 23 for so-called infrastructure improvements, a $59.5 million renovation approved in December 2024, covering all 1,258 guest rooms, and additional projects, upgrading more than 93,000 square feet of common areas. Wait a minute. The family who's one guy who doesn't have really any affiliation with the Hyatt brand, JB, who's worth $3.9 billion, they need $180 million in U.S. taxpayer funds to renovate their Chicago Hyatt hotel. Yes. These are not routine repairs, guys. These are value-boosting investments, HVAC, plumbing, electrical upgrades that directly increase occupancy, revenue, and long-term profitability. So where is our payout, right? Well, here is the critical detail Democrats want ignored. While this MPEA, and we'll go back to the beginning of that, wherever that was, here we go. It was a governing thing that determines where this taxpayer money goes. Here's the critical detail Democrats want ignored. While the MPEA technically owns the building, Hyatt Corporation, controlled by the Pritzker family, operates the hotel under a management agreement that pays a percentage of gross revenue plus incentive fees tied to profitability. So when taxpayers pay for the upgrades that raise revenue, Hyatt profits. And when Hyatt profits, the Pritzker family profits. But the taxpayer dollars don't ever get returned. Governor Pritzker's personal net worth is estimated at $3.9 billion, according to Forbes. Meantime, Illinois families are being crushed by soaring property taxes, skyrocketing energy bills driven by green climate mandates, and a pension crisis exceeding $50 billion. Like Minnesota Democrats during the Feeding Our Future scandal, Illinois Democrats preach shared sacrifice while public money quietly enriches politically connected insiders. This is why somebody who's worth $4 billion wants to work as a governor. There are no meaningful firewalls, no formal recusals, and no independent oversight. What Democrats label economic development increasingly looks like corrupt self dealing. And just as Minnesota Democrats attacked investigators instead of fraudsters, Pritzker lashes out at accountability itself, mocking Doge-style oversight as an insult to all Americans. Is it really? Sanctuary is code for corrupt. And these fat cats, Democrats and Republicans, are literally fat. And they have no intention of losing weight anytime soon. And that is what they're fighting for, to keep the illegals voting and keep the grifts coming in. And that, my friends, is just one state, Illinois. All right, are you guys ready for a change of pace? And some good news. Is an add-on. It is a full circle reunion, which is so great. Steve Hartman takes us on the road to South Bend, Indiana, where a retired police lieutenant who wondered what happened to the baby, abandoned in a box that he rescued 25 years ago, that story just took a beautiful new turn.
Was born last summer. And guess who brought him that teddy bear? Circle complete. Steve Hartman on the road in South Bend, Indiana.
I love it. And as long as I can continue sharing positive law enforcement stories with you, let's go. Because I believe that is the true story in this country. All right, when we come back on the Wendy Bell Radio program, it is your Bad Jokes. Bad Joke Friday next. I like that story. I liked it the first time. Like the add-on of the new news isn't that great, but I loved it. So.
Your camera's moving.
I know.
Okay.
I know. See, I leaned in and made love to the camera. Wow. That's not very friendly. And when I lean in and I sing to you guys, it goes haywire. Like, I don't know what to do.
It's like, back off, lady.
Yeah, all right. So, do you want to allow this app? Yes. Next. Install.
Why does it always happen on Fridays?
No, it happens when I look, because I don't know. And what is it about? I don't make any hand gestures. I just move in and sing to the camera, and then it goes nutty.
$11 minutes. I'm not counting though.
Yeah, why are you? What are you trying to do? You got plans? You got a date? What are you doing?
No.
Joe and I are going out for dinner tonight at a restaurant that we haven't been to in a long, long time. I'll tell you all about it on Monday because I'm super excited.
I won't say anything.
You know, this whole Timothy Buzzfield thing, have you followed this? He's the actor from The West Wing who married Melissa Gilbert, who's accused of, I guess, sexual misconduct with children on a program that he was working on or what have you. And now the headline is Melissa Gilbert is losing friends over sticking by her husband, and his production company dropped him and all this other stuff. And people are like distancing themselves and disavowing. Why don't they do that to the Clintons? This guy hasn't been prosecuted yet. He's been convicted. I don't know what he did. I don't know if he did anything. But judge, jury, and executioner is out full speed for this guy. Look, I had a son who was lied about. And it was a process I hope never anybody goes through. Like, I can't tell you, but for everybody to jump on this bandwagon, I have nothing to say about it because I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know, but it's just like that's the hypocrisy, though.
Did you reinstall it?
Yes. Hold on, it hasn't opened it up.
I like that guy on the West Wing, though. For those that don't know, if you watch the West Wing, he was Danny, the reporter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It work?
I hope so.
Move.
All right, hold on.
Well, that seemed to focus it. Okay. Yes, it did.
It took a long time. Maybe I need to shut it down and reboot or something. Maybe we do that on Monday. I don't know.
Maybe the whole computer needs
That's
restarting.
what I was going to say. But I was going to say it needs to be. I love you guys. I hope
love to be fun of someone's jokes.
I love you guys. So our goal in our household is to eat through all of the food in our freezer and our pantry.
Yet you're going out.
That's why we're going out.
You take your time. Oh, and you get it up. You got that one gun. Make the rock and roll go round.
Welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. This is a very important part of the show every week. I know you must be new to the program, but this is the sound of it, and I'll explain.
Ladies, I just flew in from New York before my arms. I'm joking, of course. Anywho, welcome to the Comedy Club. Won't you give it up to Wendy and Brock? Bad Joke Friday.
All right, welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. Let's get started. Our first joke is always from Dr. Richard Rafferty from the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. One weekend, a man takes his blonde wife deer hunting for the very first time. After he gives her some basic instructions, they agreed to separate and rendezvous later. But before he leaves, he warns her if she should shoot a deer, to beware of hunters who might beat her to the carcass and claim the kill. He tells her, look, if that's what should happen, I want you to fire your rifle 3 times into the air, and I will come to your aid. Well, shortly after they separate, he hears the signal, 3 shots, pop, pop, pop from the rifle. Arriving at the scene, he finds his wife standing over a carcass and a very nervous-looking man staring down her gun barrel. He claims this is his, but I was the one who shot it, she says. She can keep it. She can keep it. The wide-eyed man cries, I just want my saddle back. Okay. Sorry, that was bad, but there you go. Brock, are you ready? Did you hear about the boat that got a new job? Yep, it's in sales. I know. I'm sorry. Brock says his girl takes his breath away. She's inflatable. Sorry.
Wow.
Wow. There you go. Wow.
I just wanted everyone to know that Fox News never has any news about foxes. That's false advertising.
Oh my gosh. 2 babies are laying in a hospital nursery. One says to the other, hi, what kind of baby are you? The other says, I'm a little baby girl. She says to the other, what kind of baby are you? And the other responds, I'm a little baby boy. She asks him, well, how can you tell? He answers, look, when the nurse leaves, I'll show you. The nurse left their post, and he says, as he lifts his blanket, see that? In surprise, she asks, what's that? He responds, blue booties. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
Oh.
A gummy bear.
Oh, jeez. I know a surgeon who puts organs back in upside down. I told him it's not funny, but he says it was an inside joke. It's gross. God.
The hemorrhoid cream caused a bad reaction, I said to the doctor. The doctor said, where did you apply it? I said, on the bus.
I'm an expert at picking leaves and hitting them in water. It's my specialty. Yeah.
I know. A lifeguard told her mother to make her young son stop peeing in the pool.
Oh.
Oh, what's the big deal? The mother protested. All the kids from time to time pee in the pool. Oh, really? Asked the lifeguard. From the diving board?
Oh, my goodness. What did the cop say to his belly button? You're under a vest. I know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
What do you call camel with no humps?
What?
Humphrey.
Harold got real drunk at the Christmas party and he Ubered home. He snuck in beside his wife, woke up early at the pearly gates, and St. Peter said, "You died in your sleep." Harold was stunned. He's like, "I died? That can't be right. I've got too much to live for. Please send me back." St. Peter said, "Look, I'm sorry. There's only one way you can go back, and that's by being reincarnated as a chicken." Harold wasn't thrilled, but he begged St. Peter to send him to a farm that was near his house. And the next thing he knew, he was covered in feathers, clucking and pecking at the ground. A rooster strode past. "Huh, you're the new hen, huh? How's your first day here?" "Not bad," replied Harold to the hen, "but I have this strange feeling inside like I'm going to explode." "Oh, that's an egg," explained the rooster. "Don't tell me you've never laid an egg before." "Never," said Harold. "Well, just relax and let it happen," said the rooster. "It's not a big deal." Harold did, and a few uncomfortable seconds later, out popped an egg. He was overcome with emotion as he experienced motherhood. He soon laid another egg. All of his joy was overwhelming. As he was about to lay his third egg, he felt a smack on the back of his head and heard his wife say, "Harold, wake up! You crapped the bed."
Oh.
You should read those in advance, Brock. You didn't even read that, did
My
you?
daughter
No,
wanted
you
a
didn't.
Cinderella
It's so
themed
gross.
birthday party, so
Yes.
I made her and her friends mop up the floor and do all the dishes.
What kind of tea is hard to swallow? Reality. I know.
Did you hear about the stormtrooper that ate a small Wookiee?
No.
They said it was a little chewy.
If I could have one superpower, it would be invisibility. But I just want to make myself clear. So, I know.
My
Stop.
barber realized that his scissors weren't working, so he apologized. I replied, "Well, sorry, he's not going to cut it."
Victoria's Secret just merged with Smith and Wesson. The new company is called Titty Titty Bang Bang.
I had an employee that came out as transgender. I
Oh.
wanted to be respectful and ask, "What's the hardest thing about being transgender?" He said, "Honestly, I just want to be treated like a real woman." So I couldn't pay.
A man tells his doctor, "Doc, help me. I'm addicted to Twitter." The doctor replies, "Sorry, I don't follow you." So stupid. Principal says, "Your child always causes trouble in school." I say, "My child causes trouble at home. Do I call you?" Oh, there it is. Love you guys. Thanks for being part of the Wendy Bell radio program. We'll see you back here on Monday. Peace.